But this was unlike any other week, right? We've been in Houston all week long. We had a chance to have the joint practice with the Houston Texans. And then you got a day of rest and recovery and walkthroughs. And now you have an opportunity for some guys to go out there and take what they did on the practice field, now bring it to a game-like situation and scenario. And I think no person bigger in this scenario is Fernando Mendoza. He'll get an opportunity from the beginning, from the get-go, to show and build on what he did last week against the Arizona Cardinals. So an exciting moments here as you kind of can feel it down there on the field as Fernando will be able to take his first snaps being the first quarterback today.
Raiders warming up to our right out of the end zone to our right, while the Texans still in their position groups in the end zone to the left. Mendoza last week, 10 of 16, 97 yards, a touchdown pass to Jack Besh on his second drive, a QB rating over 100. And we expect tonight for him to play the first half, maybe a little bit into the second half. We do not expect to see any of the Raiders starters on either the offense or the defense. On the other side, for who they're going against here, Kirk, we don't know what we're going to see from the Texans. Over the weekend, D'Amico Ryan said, yep, every healthy starter is going to play. Then after their starting wide receiver, Jaden Higgins, tore his ACL in the practice on Tuesday, it was reported that they're not going to play any of their starters. And then this morning, it was reported that the Texans' offense will start, and then they'll go from there. So, again, we don't really know what to expect from Houston.
Yeah, it's going to be a wait-and-see approach. How many guys go out there and get some work in? Look, you realize this is game number 2 in the preseason. So there's still some spots that are open. But I think also, too, you mentioned that Higgins goes down. Well, that creates an opportunity at their wide receiving group, which now has a competition right now with who's going to be that next guy up. Look, Tank Dell still hasn't come back from the injury yet. He's still on that NFI list or the PUP list. They're hoping to get him back. He would be, I think, their essential number 2 wide receiver. But they've got some things they're working on in Houston right now in terms of what they're going to look at wide receiver.
All right, so obviously Fernando Mendoza will go up against a Texans defense. They don't expect to see their starters, one of the best defenses in all the NFL. He did work with the ones, though, as did Kirk Cousins at practice on Tuesday. We got a chance to see that. All right, aside from Mendoza and the quarterback, Kirk, what position group on both sides of the ball for the Raiders are you most focused on tonight here in this preseason game number 2?
It has to be the defensive backs. It really does. I mean, you drafted 4 guys in the draft in that defensive backfield. Trayden Stoops, Jerron McCoy, Dalton Johnson, Hezekiah Massis. Those guys last week had their work cut out for them. Wasn't a great showing, but it wasn't a terrible showing. There were just some opportunities that needed to be made, plays that needed to be made last week, and they didn't do that. I look for them to have a much better performance today, and that's what my eye is going to be on, because when I say it again, these were 4 draft picks out of your 10. This is also the future, what you think this secondary is going to look like. So if you're a Raiders fans, you're sitting back and we're looking and saying, is this the future of what this secondary can look like in years to come?
And then for the offense, I think people are excited, too. Can they run the football? Yes. Right? Ashton Genty got 3 carries last week, 16 yards. They moved the pile a little bit with the starters. But then Mike Washington broke off a 53-yard run. You saw the power. I think, though, for a team that has been last in running the football each of the last 2 years offensively, can they get 4 yards at a time? Can they get 5 yards at a time? Can they push whatever defenders they're going against?
Yeah, can they get the tough yard, too? And I think, another thing, I started with what I'm looking at on defense, but this offensive line isn't whole yet. They've had a couple of injuries this week. Remember, JPJ, Jackson Powers Johnson, went down with an injury on Sunday after practice, did not practice against the Texans this week, and will not play in today's game, it looks like. So there's still some competition along that offensive line. I'll see if they can get some push against a outstanding defensive front from Houston.
All right, 1 game tonight, 1 next Thursday against the Niners. Then they are 72 hours away from getting that 90-man roster down to 53. But we get going here in about 35 minutes. But when we return, it is Tim Cates back in our studio to dive deeper into this preseason matchup. You're listening to the Las Vegas Raiders Radio Network.
Hey, did you see that game last weekend? It was crazy.
Actually, we were there.
Wait, like in person? How'd you swing that?
Allegiant had a super affordable nonstop flight out there. And with how low the airfare was, buying tickets to the game was a no-brainer.
Hold my beer. I'm going to Allegiant.com right now.
Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. Nonstop flights from Las Vegas to Santa Maria, one way for as low as $44. Must be purchased by 9/13/2026 for travel between 8/20/2026 and 2/7/2027. Seats and dates are limited. Restrictions apply. See Allegiant.com for details.
Whether you're courtside or poolside, in a box suite or penthouse suite, on the sideline or a zip line, There's no better place than Vegas to be part of the action. In the arena and out on the town. The loudest cheers, the brightest lights, and the sweetest celebrations. Wherever your night takes you, welcome to Las Vegas. Plan your trip today at visitlasvegas.com.
Ever see people move an umbrella at a tailgate to cover the beer coolers? Or fill their only sink in a hotel room with ice? It's actually kind of crazy the lengths people will go to make sure their beer is ice cold. But no matter what people do, one thing is pretty clear. Because it's not a beer unless it's a cold beer. That's why the Coors Light mountains turn blue. To tell you when your beer is as cold as the Rockies. Celebrate responsibly. 2026 Coors Brewing Company. Golden, Colorado. Beer.
At Cox, your internet and mobile price won't change for 5 years. That's 5 New Year's celebrations, 5 Valentine's Days, 5 4th of Julys, 5 Halloweens, 5 Thanksgivings, and 5 summers that go by too fast. Through it all, your price stays the same with our 5-year price lock guarantee. Cox, a step ahead. Requires 2 gig speeds and gig unlimited mobile. Taxes and fees excluded from price lock. Mobile data speeds reduced after 20 gigs.
Welcome to the Silver and Black Studios.
All right, everybody ready?
Now, to dive deeper into tonight's matchup, here's your host, Tim Cates.
It's the Raiders and Texans deep in the heart of Texas. Tim Cates inside the Silver and Black Studios. Raiders Game Day Live on this Thursday night. It's week 2 of the preseason. The Las Vegas Raiders and Houston Texans squaring off. Just the second time ever in preseason play. They've met 13 times during the regular season, once in the playoffs back in the 2016 AFC wildcard game. The Raiders 0-1 this preseason after a loss to the Arizona Cardinals last Thursday. Clint Kubiak liked what he saw on both sides of the football. A good foundation for what he's hoping to build with the Silver and Black. This week, they went out to Houston for a couple of practices, including a joint practice on Tuesday.
You know, overall with joint practices, the main thing is you're just trying to get working and get each other better without turning into a fight and a melee. So I thought our guys were very mature. You know, I think there maybe was a dust-up one time on the other side. But it's a practice. It's week 4 of training camp. It's about getting the team better. And so I would say overall I was pleased with that.
One guy that has really popped on offense is Mike Washington, the rookie running back. 6 carries, 63 yards against Arizona last week. He followed that up with a joint practice against the Texans, in which he was really solid. Coach Kubiak.
Very few guys just rise to the occasion and become gamers that just show it to you in practice first. So Mike has done it in practice. He's done it in the game. And we just got to keep challenging him and putting more on his shoulders.
One of the key position battles during this Raiders training camp on offense is up front at right guard between Jackson Powers-Johnson and Caleb Rogers. Coach Kubiak likes the way they're both competing.
I've been really pleased with how both of those guys are playing. They're making each other better, and you know, they're making decisions hard on us. But it also means we're continuing to build solid depth. So JPJ and Caleb, you know, they're both playing winning football and they're both improving, and we're going to continue to coach them to improve them.
Quarterback Fernando Mendoza played 4 series last week against the Cardinals. He settled in, leading the Raiders offense to a touchdown drive. He was 10 of 16 for 97 yards and a touchdown pass. On Tuesday at the joint practice, he got to run with the ones on offense. Coach Kubiak.
Yeah, I wanted to see him, you know, going against the Texans ones. That was our plan all along. Thought he did some good things. But just he and his teammates, all these young guys that were playing, we got to get them up to speed real quick.
The Raiders joint practice on Tuesday with the Texans, a good opportunity to get game reps and gain more experience. For Fernando Mendoza, he's soaking it all up.
I think it's great. I mean, especially we go against our defense, which is fantastic, and it's a top defense every single day, and then now be able to go against the Texans defense, which is also a top defense in the league, go against them, be able to get some reps with the ones against the superstars on their defense. And then obviously their twos are fantastic as well. We got so much work, whether it was move the ball, first down, third down, red zone, 2-minute. There's so many situations, and I believe overall it was a positive day. There were plays that I loved and plays that I wish I had back, but in reality that's a lie. I wish I didn't have them back because it's a growing experience, and it's practice. It's practice, and this is what I love, and it's just a beautiful day to play football here, and I'm so happy of so many things to learn from today.
Well, the Houston Texans 0-1 this preseason after a loss to the Chargers last Thursday. Head coach DeMeco Ryans entering his 4th season. He's built a winning culture in Houston. 2 divisional titles, 3 trips to the playoffs, a young quarterback in C.J. Stroud, and a team built around a very strong physical defense. Something, though, he didn't see in their first preseason game.
I wanted to see us play physical, right? And I did not see that the entire game. There were some glimpses of us playing physical, but the Chargers, they out-physical us the entire game, right? So it was not our brand of football. When I speak of playing our style, that's a physical brand of football, and that was not up to par.
One other note, the Houston Texans receiving corps took a big hit as wideout Jaden Higgins suffered a torn ACL on Tuesday during the joint practice with the Raiders. When we continue, we'll catch up with Raiders tight end Ian Thomas as we lead you up to Raiders and Texans from Houston, week 2 of the preseason. I'm Tim Cates, and you're listening to Raiders Football.
Talking to the stars of the NFL on the 2026 training camp tour.
LA Charger quarterback Justin Herbert, year 3 with Coach Harbaugh. I can't imagine that he doesn't get you fired up still to this day.
He's the best. He loves football. He loves this team, and he would do anything to win. And to have a guy like that cares so much about this team, his players, everything he does, it's about winning, and it's about how can I be the best coach for these guys. And it just makes you want to play harder for him and respects him even more.
SiriusXM NFL Radio Channel 88 and on the SiriusXM app.
You can't win your fantasy football league in the summer, but you sure can lose it. On Sirius XM Fantasy Sports Radio, we created a winning fantasy football lineup to help you build a championship team.
Hey guys, need your help, need your help.
Get the edge you need from Jeff Manns, John Hansen, Jeff Radcliffe, Matthew Berry's Fantasy Life, and the Fantasy Footballers.
I require 2 of my first 4 rounds to be running backs.
Listen live on Channel 87 or prep your draft anytime by searching Draft Season on the Sirius XM app.
College football never fails to deliver.
The countdown to college football season is on Sirius XM College Sports Radio. It's nonstop talk about your favorite school.
Guaranteed this season, something will happen you've never seen before.
And our experts break down the contenders for the college football playoff.
I am all in on Oregon. Championship caliber defense.
It's all on College Sports Radio, Channel 84 in the car, and on the Sirius XM app.
My goodness! The 2026 SiriusXM NFL Radio Training Camp Tour.
The Buffalo Bills head coach Joe Brady. DJ Moore, what's it been like just having his veteran presence in the locker room?
Like, he was a stud with us in Carolina, and we didn't win a lot of games, right? And the way that he's going about it, he showed up every single day and just worked. And that's what he's done his whole career, and the skill set is there. And having the opportunity to play with Josh and coming here, I'm going to get the best version of DJ Moore this year. I love having him back.
Hear all of our team previews from the NFL Radio Training Camp Tour on the SiriusXM app.
SiriusXM NBA Radio is your home all year long for 24/7 coverage of the National Basketball Association.
LeBron dribbling, drives to the paint, puts it up, in, and a foul. Are you kidding me?
We are bringing you exclusive access to the biggest basketball stars in the world.
Talking to the one and only Steph Curry.
I truly believe we can be championship relevant. For me, that's literally the only thing I'm playing for at this point.
Enjoy interactive, live NBA commentary all day long.
No matter how much talent you have, if you don't play as a team, you can't win.
Let those guys in the front office run the team, dude.
And of course, all the nightly rim-rocking, heart-pounding, buzzer-beating, play-by-play action your ears can handle.
Victor for 3. Wee-wee, and the foul! Victor Wembanyama!
Basketball is our life. On SiriusXM NBA Radio Channel 86 in the car. And on the SiriusXM app.
Las Vegas fans, hear what Coach Kubiak and the players have to say after each game on the Raiders channel. 816 on the SiriusXM app.
Tim Cates back inside our Silver and Black studios. Raiders Game Day Live continues as we lead you up to kickoff from Houston. It's the Raiders and the Texans. We'll get you caught up on all the games from around week 2 of the preseason. News and notes as well. Got the keys to the game coming up with Jason and Kirk. But time now for the Raiders player spotlight. He's in his 9th season already in the NFL out of Indiana. Started in Jacksonville. Now year 2 with the Silver and Black. It is Raiders tight end Ian Thomas, and he joins us now. Ian, how you doing?
Doing great, man. I appreciate you having me on, and I'm excited to talk about ball.
All right, Ian, second preseason game of the year. How much different of a feel is it this week compared to last week when you guys took on Arizona in the opener, especially after getting a chance to practice against the Houston Texans earlier this week?
It feels a lot better. You know, guys are settling in after, training camp and going against our own guys for such a long time. And everybody's getting their bearings back of football and, getting the pads back on, that extra weight and, the excitement of, fall camp and getting the season started. So it's a lot better this week, and, guys like traveling with the team and, doing all the things, and then the joint practice is always exciting. But yeah, man, it's been a blessing, obviously, and everybody's excited and we're ready to go.
Ian, these joint practices against other teams, how helpful are they? Are they just as helpful as playing in preseason games?
Yeah, obviously, you get reps against your own guys for so long, and then now you get to, see if it actually works against someone who hasn't seen it, right? Of course, you scout against, different coaches and where they've been in their history, but you want to see guys do it in the heat of the battle when the bullets are flying, and see how guys react and see what works, and, see where you can plug and play guys. So I definitely get how it can be definitely important to, still do these joint practices. So, yeah, I agree.
Raiders tight end Ian Thomas, my guest, as we lead up to kickoff from Houston. It's the Raiders and Texans. You had 10 starts last season with the Silver and Black. How would you look at your role, though, this year with the offense, Ian, going into year 2 with the Raiders?
Man, my role is honestly whatever they need me to do. I'll be a backup to Mike and Brock, and then special teams here and there. I'm just a guy that can play everything. I'll play tight end, I'll play the F, I'll play, fullback. Just plug and play and whatever the team needs, honestly. And I know Clint's history has been a bunch of tight ends and a bunch of fullbacks and, movements of the F and the Y. So yeah, I'm here to do it all.
You mentioned it. You're a veteran with this tight end group with Brock Bowers and Michael Mayer. It's a strong tight end room going back to last year. How is it? Kind of take the Raider fans behind the scenes. What do you guys like back there in that tight end room? How close of a group is it?
Man, it's been dope. Obviously we brought a bunch of guys back that we had last year. We pretty much have the same room minus Chris that just joined us recently after Carter went down. So it's been great, man. The guys everyone's gelling together, and everybody has, these different things about them that make everyone else fun. So it's cool to go in training camp. You spend so much time with the guys throughout the year. You kind of get to know their families, and, that no one in the room has kids but me. So you kind of get to know their dogs and whatnot. And Brock just got a new dog, so it's been cool to talk about that. So yeah, it's been pretty dope. Our room is pretty solid, and, everybody gets along, and especially with Coach Steck, he makes it a lot easier on the guys and makes it, he's a player's coach, and we always tell him that. So yeah, we do a good job of playing off each other and helping get the next guy up.
Ian, you played in Jacksonville, you played with the Raiders, and you played for a lot of head coaches. What is Clint Kubiak like? What about his staff and getting to know them and what they've implemented so far during training camp and week 1 of the preseason? What's this group like?
Man, he don't mess around, and that's what I like. He'll shoot you straight. When there's work to be done, the guys will get the work done. And like everyone says, like he's a reserved guy, but man, like when he doesn't like something, he'll let you know. When he likes something, he'll let you know. But it isn't. He's not too high, not too low. He's pretty even keel, and he'll shoot you straight. And man, I love it. I think he knows a lot of ball, and he knows how to put guys in the right places to get the job done.
Ian, final thing, and I appreciate the time. You've been in the league since 2018. How has your approach to training camp and preseason games changed as you've gotten older?
I wouldn't say it changed, but it's definitely a lot more preparing before. Preparing my body, stretching, running, being in shape. I got to keep up with the younger guys. I'm 30 years old now, so it's a lot more preparing my body to get ready for battle, and pretty much that's what training camp is for, to build that callus of putting the pads back on, running around for 2-3 hours, and going up against much bigger guys or smaller guys that's a lot faster. So yeah, it's pretty much been the same, just a lot more of it now to get my body back in to that fall camp shape again.
Well, Ian, appreciate the time. Best of luck tonight against the Houston Texans, and most importantly, stay healthy the rest of the preseason. I know Raider fans looking forward to a big 2026. Thanks again.
Absolutely, man. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, that's Raiders tight end Ian Thomas. We'll step aside, and when we come back, we'll get you caught up on the latest training camp news. Check out the scoreboard around week 2 of the preseason as we lead you up to Raiders and Texans from Houston on this Thursday night. I'm Tim Cates, and you're listening to the Las Vegas Raiders Radio Network.
Raiders football is brought to you by Allegiant, the official airline of the Raiders. Low fares, nonstop flights, only at Allegiant.com. America First Credit Union, the official credit union of the Las Vegas Raiders. By Modelo, a reward for those with a fighting spirit. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. Drink responsibly. Imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois. By Cox, powered by Cox, proud partner of the Las Vegas Raiders.
At Cox, your internet and mobile price won't change for 5 years. That's 5 New Year celebrations, 5 Valentine's Days, 5 4th of Julys, 5 Halloweens, 5 Thanksgivings, and 5 summers that go by too fast. Through it all, your price stays the same with our 5-year price lock guarantee. Cox, a step ahead. Requires 2 gig speeds and gig unlimited mobile. Taxes and fees excluded from price lock. Mobile data speeds reduced after 20 gigs.
Karma Automotive proudly serves as the official luxury electric vehicle of the Las Vegas Raiders. As America's first and only ultra-luxury automaker, from our Cavea 1,000 horsepower Super Coupe to the Rivero, the extended range sedan, Karma blends supernatural innovation with American ingenuity. We are shaping the future of automotive aspiration. For assigned drivers only. Reserve your Karma at karmaautomotive.com.
When it comes to hospitality, entertainment, and gaming, one name stands above the rest. Yamava Resort and Casino at San Manuel. Its excellence is recognized by national awards, including a Best Casino Outside of Las Vegas title from Newsweek in 2025, and 3 times USA Today's Reader's Choice honors. Plus, it's the only casino hotel with a prestigious AAA 5-diamond rating, over 7,500 slots, A-list entertainment, world-class hospitality. Discover why Yamava is California's #1 entertainment destination. Details at yamava.com. Must be 21 to enter. Please gamble responsibly.
Tim Cates back inside the Silver and Black Studios. Raiders Game Day Live continues on this Thursday night as we lead you up to the Las Vegas Raiders and the Houston Texans. Week 2 of the preseason. Let's get you caught up on what's happening around the NFL. Brought to you by Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. Low fares, non-stop flights. Book now only at Allegiant.com. It's week 2 of the preseason. Next week, the final dress rehearsal, and then they'll get ready to kick off the year for good. One of the game tonight, 3 games tomorrow, including the Jets and the Steelers, where the Steelers have a battle at backup quarterback between Drew Aller and Will Howard. 10 games on Saturday in week 2 of the preseason. The big one in Cleveland between the Browns and the Bills as the quarterback battle continues there to see if Deshaun Watson or Shedeur Sanders will be the starting quarterback come week 1. Tonight, SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. It's the Chargers and the 49ers. Kyle Shanahan says all healthy starters will play tonight. That means quarterback Brock Purdy will play a couple of series. However, running back Christian McCaffrey will not play due to minor lower body muscle tightness. Jim Harbaugh is going to let his starters play a couple of series tonight, especially since they're trying a new rookie at center as they try to shore up that offensive line.
Starters are going to play a series. And then they're going to come out, getting the game action. The operation will be tremendous to practice. New center, that's huge. Just a real dress rehearsal for game 1.
Chargers and 49ers will kick things off in a couple of hours. Off the field, the Dallas Cowboys and New Orleans Saints have each been fined $500,000 by the NFL because of multiple fights that broke out at Tuesday's joint practice. The NFL says, hey, we warned all of you. Last month, they sent out a notice to all the teams that they'll be responsible for preventing unsportsmanlike behavior at joint practices, and they could face fines. In fact, the Cowboys and Saints are both getting fined. Colts tight end Tyler Warren expected to miss another week with a minor groin injury suffered at training camp. They expect it to be good for week 1. College football, real mess right now, as a Louisiana judge issued a temporary restraining order yesterday allowing 16 players to return to play college football for one final season. Many of the 16 players are currently in NFL training camps fighting for roster spots. They now have the option to come back and play in college for one more year. SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey says athletes allowed to come back after signing professional contracts is, quote, fuels disruption for college football and should not be allowed. When we come back inside Reliance Stadium for the keys to the game, we're leading up to kickoff. It's the Raiders and the Texans.
I'm Tim Cates. You're listening to Raiders Football.
Touchdown Raiders! Raiders fans, get more of the great content you crave right now on the Sirius XM app. Just search Las Vegas Raiders on the app and tap the favorite star. You not only hear the game with your hometown announcers, but you'll also get access to the pre- and post-game shows. And come back during the week for extra Raiders content, including coach and player press conferences, special team-specific shows, interviews, and much more. It's all on the Sirius XM app. Download it and search Las Vegas Raiders today.
A dominant performance this afternoon.
Hey, this is Ryan Priest, driver of the number 60 Ford Mustang for RFK Racing. The NASCAR Cup Series is on Sirius XM. We are back on the track Sunday,
2 p.m. Eastern.
It's the Dollar Tree 301 from New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
And you can listen to all the action on Sirius XM NASCAR Radio, Channel 90 in the car, and on the Sirius XM app.
For up-to-date betting lines, fantasy plays, and the latest NASCAR news, catch the pre-race show before every Cup Series race.
Ranger Station, Ranger speaking.
Yeah, hi. I'd like to report a bear sighting.
Location.
In the woods, just outside of town.
Oh, not surprising. You've got your home. Bears have theirs.
Yeah, but see, this wasn't just any bear. This bear was wearing jeans and a hat, as in Smokey Bear.
Jeans and a hat. That's definitely Smokey. What exactly did he have to say?
Well, we were about to head home, after having a bonfire.
Oh, I can guess where this is going.
Right. See, Smokey told me the fire wasn't actually out. He said if it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave.
That's true. Did you know that 9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans? That means 9 out of 10 wildfires can be prevented.
Wow, no kidding?
I'm a forest ranger. We never kid.
Sorry.
that was a joke.
Oh.
If you see someone in danger of starting a wildfire, step in and make a difference, because 9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans. Brought to you by Smokey Bear, the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council. Learn more at smokeybear.com.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
SiriusXM NBA Radio is your home all year long for 24/7 coverage of the National Basketball Association.
LeBron dribbling, drives to the paint, puts it up, in, and a foul. Are you kidding me?
We are bringing you exclusive access to the biggest basketball stars in the world.
Talking to the one and only Steph Curry.
I truly believe we can be championship relevant. For me, that's literally the only thing I'm playing for at this point.
Enjoy interactive, live NBA commentary all day long.
No matter how much talent you have, if you don't play as a team, you can't win.
Let those guys in the front office run the team, dude.
And of course, all the nightly rim-rocking, heart-pounding, buzzer-beating, play-by-play action your ears can handle.
Victor for three. And the foul. Victor Wembanyama.
Basketball is our life. On Sirius XM NBA Radio Channel 86 in the car. And on the Sirius XM app.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Las Vegas Raiders football.
Interact with our stable of former players, coaches, and executives all day long on SiriusXM NFL Radio Channel 88 and the SiriusXM app.
Houston Texans cheerleaders, their mascot Toro, the friendly blue bull, leading their team out of their tunnel to the far left inside corner as we see it. Raiders already on the far sideline in the white jerseys, black numbers, silver pants with a whole lot of players no pads at all. Jason Horwitz, Kirk Morrison, happy to have you back with us here as we get set for the Raiders and Texans preseason week number 2. Kirk, keys to the game brought to you by Allegiant. Allegiant Air, the official airline of the Raiders. Low fares, nonstop flights, only at Allegiant.com. And as we see it with the starting offensive line not wearing pads, Kirk Cousins not taking the warm-ups with the first team. It is Fernando Mendoza that's going to start. What are your keys for the Raiders offense today when they get going on the field?
Well, honestly, I just want to see Fernando Mendoza build on what he did last week. He was very comfortable in the pocket, showed a lot of poise. He made some throws, and you just want to see him improve on maybe some of the mistakes or things that he talked about in his post-game press conference that he could have been better at. So that's what I'm looking at offensively. I'll switch it over to the defense. What am I looking at? Well, I think what every coach in the National Football League looks at when it comes to preseason game number 2. You know what that is, Jason?
Tackling.
Yeah. Right. How many coaches talked about tackling? Well, you don't do it. The Raiders only had 11 practices going into preseason game number 1. They only practiced 4 times this week. So 15 practices. Yes, the tackling will be much better. That's one of the keys to the game. And then, obviously, let's hit on the special teams. I want to see much more improvement, whether it's field goal kicking, whether it's kicking off.
Yeah.
Also, too, want to see some coverage units. We didn't see a lot of that last week. See more of that today.
And you know, this always gets lost. Special teams gets lost. But the Raiders have 2 kickers on the roster. The veteran Matt Gay in his 8th year out of Utah. The rookie who's 27 years old, Kansei Matsuzawa, nicknamed the Tokyo Toe. They've been battling in camp. It seems like it's Matt Gay's job to lose. But there's also a battle at long snapper. Yeah. Alex Ward in his 4th year out of UCF against a rookie out of Penn State and Tyler Duzansky.
Yeah, I've been actually clamoring about that over the last couple of weeks. I said, everyone's talking about all these other competitions, but it's the Duzansky and Ward competition. And right now, last week, it was Alex Ward who took the first couple snaps. For a lot of people, he was with the Rams the previous 3 seasons. The Rams had some operational things that happened last year with their field goal kicking. They changed out the battery, and that's how Alex Ward became expendable. He finds himself here in a battle against a young rookie, like you mentioned. So, yes, we're keeping an eye on those 2 guys in terms of the operation when it comes to field goal kicking.
You mentioned tackling. Greedy Vance last week, one of the smallest players on the Raiders roster, he led the team with 10 tackles. Remember, he's 5'10", 168. 25-year-old, or will be in October, out of USC. And you know, so much talk on the corner side has been about who's going to start opposite Eric Stokes. Darian Porter, Hezekiah Massis, will Jermod McCoy, the most thought would be a first round, fell to the 4th round. Well, one of the but Greedy Vance was the one who stood out the most of the backup corners last week.
It's what you do with your opportunities. And for a guy who's not the biggest of size in terms of the cornerback position, I thought Greedy Vance tackled well, showing that he's able to be physical in the run game. The young guys have come along. The rookie players, yes, Hezekiah Massis, Jermod McCoy, they'll get their opportunities. It's exciting to see Zeke Massis throw his shoulder pads around. A little guy only about 180. He made some plays in the run game. Today it's all about making plays in that pass game, which I didn't see enough of from those guys.
Almost every roster has one undrafted free agent make the initial 53. And again, we are 10 days away, give or take, from that roster being set. Will one of those guys make a case tonight? And then obviously storyline that is A, and the headline that will be large. The overall number 1 pick, the Heisman Trophy winner, the future of the franchise, Fernando Mendoza. And the excitement that he has to get going this week against the Texans as well, after playing against the Houston Texans, number 1 defense in the practice on Tuesday. It is the Raiders. It is the Texans here in H-Town. And the opening kickoff is coming up on the other side as we take a break here inside Reliance Stadium. You're listening to the Las Vegas Raiders Radio Network.
Whether you're courtside or poolside, in a box suite or penthouse suite, on the sideline or a zip line, there's no better place than Vegas to be part of the action. In the arena and out on the town. The loudest cheers, the brightest lights, and the sweetest celebrations. Wherever your night takes you, welcome to Las Vegas. Plan your trip today at visitlasvegas.com.
Cox, your internet and mobile price won't change for 5 years. That's 5 New Year celebrations, 5 Valentine's Days, 5 4th of Julys, 5 Halloweens, 5 Thanksgivings, and 5 summers that go by too fast. Through it all, your price stays the same with our 5-year price lock guarantee. Cox, a step ahead. Requires 2 gig speeds and gig unlimited mobile. Taxes and fees excluded from price lock. Mobile data speeds reduced after 20 gigs.
Karma Automotive proudly serves as the official luxury electric vehicle of the Las Vegas Raiders. As America's first and only ultra-luxury automaker, from our Cavea 1,000 horsepower Super Coupe to the Rivero, the extended range sedan, Karma blends supernatural innovation with American ingenuity. We are shaping the future of automotive aspiration. For assigned drivers only. Reserve your Karma at karmaautomotive.com.
When it comes to hospitality, entertainment, and gaming, one name stands above the rest. Yamava Resort and Casino at San Manuel. Its excellence is recognized by national awards, including a Best Casino Outside of Las Vegas title from Newsweek in 2025, and 3 times USA Today's Reader's Choice honors. Plus, it's the only casino hotel with a prestigious AAA 5-diamond rating, over 7,500 slots, A-list entertainment, world-class hospitality. Discover why Yamava is California's #1 entertainment destination. Details at yamava.com. Must be 21 to enter. Please gamble responsibly.
We are ready to rock here in the preseason. Horowitz, Morrison, who I did call Kirk Cousins on the broadcast on TV last week. I apologize. I don't know that I ever fully apologized to you for that last week, Thursday, as we were saying goodbye.
You didn't know there's going to be 2 Kirks this season. How about that?
Yeah.
There's a Cousins and there's a Morrison.
Yeah. He's Kirk O'Chains, though.
He is Kirk O'Chains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your nickname back in the day, leading tackler for the Raiders 4 years in a row?
Well, in college, I was known as the Dark Lord.
Okay.
Because I wore this fierce visor over my face mask, and I kind of took on the Darth Vader, sort of from, Star Wars.
Yeah.
And in the league, I was just 5 deuce.
5 deuce.
52, that was my number.
I can go with that. 5 deuce. All right. Horowitz and Cinco Deuce. All right. Alanek, 4th year as a referee. He is down there to get this coin toss. Darian Porter, Jack Besh, A.J. Cole, Raiders captains at midfield downstairs.
Las Vegas is a visiting team, so they will call the toss. This side is heads. This side is tails. What's your choice? Tails. Tails has been called. It's heads. Houston's won the toss. Which way do you want to kick? Houston's won the toss and will receive the opening kickoff. Good luck, gentlemen.
All right, they're going to put their offense on the field. And C.J. Stroud for the Texans is warming up on the sideline. Yeah. So unlike the Raiders, whose starters or expected starters are all on the Raiders sideline with the jersey on but no pads, that's a different story for the Texans. All of their players that we can see on the sideline in front of us are dressed and seemingly ready to go. So the Texans won the toss. The Raiders will kick it off, and we're getting set for the opening kickoff, brought to you by Modelo, a reward for those with a fighting spirit. Modelo, mark of a fighter, drink responsibly. Well, Raiders coming off a 3-14 season, the #1 pick in the draft, a whole host of changes all across the board, coaching staff across the board, obviously new quarterbacks, Fernando Mendoza and Kirk Cousins, the defensive additions that we saw last week, Nakobe Dean, Quay Walker, Kwity Paye, Max Crosby, the only one of the guys on the defense that we did not see play last week. But his entire, we expect, starting 11 not going to play today. Matt Gay slowly walking out near the 35-yard line to our left in a kicking battle with Matsuzawa. Gay, the 32-year-old out of Utah in his 8th season, will kick it left to right. Back deep to receive for the Houston Texans, Brandon Codrington, one of their backup cornerbacks, along with Noah Whittington, the running back in his rookie season out of Oregon. Texans in their home Navy uniforms, white numbers outlined in red, white pants with the stripes down the sides. And the Raiders and Matt Gage is waiting for the signal from the TV crew, which is still in a timeout. Tonight's game is one of only 2 preseason games here on this Thursday. So unlike last week when, yes, Fernando was a storyline, there were 5 games last Thursday. This is the one everyone's talking about tomorrow morning, no matter what happens.
Well, this also is the Raiders' only time this season, right now currently set up to be on national television. So the only time of the 18-week NFL season approaching, this will be the only time that the Las Vegas Raiders will be seen nationally on one station. That's ESPN tonight.
Sparse crowd here in Houston inside Reliant Stadium. Not really sure how to judge it. Maybe 20,000, 25,000 people in attendance. There's the whistle. Gay on an angle, left to right, 3-step drop. It is a short end-over-end kickoff to Whittington at the 10 on the far sideline. Up the numbers, 25, angling towards the middle, into the pile at the 30. And he's brought down at the 31-yard line. So the Texans offense takes the field with C.J. Stroud in his 4th season out of Ohio State. As a rookie, he led the NFL at 274 yards per game. Over the last 2 years, though, interceptions have been up, touchdowns have been down, just 218 yards a game. They have an offensive line that they are trying to settle. They brought in veterans Wyatt Teller and Braden Smith, but those guys are both in battles along the offensive line. Woody Marks in his second year out of USC is the lone tailback behind Stroud. Under center, takes the snap, handoff up the middle, across the 35, into the secondary, and he's brought down by Tristan McCollum at the 40 on the right numbers. Raiders defense last week gave up touchdowns on the Cardinals' first 3 drives. The defense, again, none of the expected starters in the lineup tonight except for Darian Porter, who is starting at corner opposite Hezekiah Massis. And those two guys have been battling for the starting corner spot all camp long to be opposite Eric Stokes. Trade in Stukes, Tristan McCollum, your starting safety. 2nd and 1. Another handoff to Marks, and he's hit from behind. Great job coming off the edge. Tristan McCollum beat the wide receiver from the slot, dropped him for no gain. It's 3rd and 1.
That's a great way of putting it. He refused to be blocked. He had a wide receiver who was trying to block him. He cuts underneath, and his path took him to the running back and was able to get that tackle for loss. Sets up a 3rd and short right here for the Raider defense.
Malcolm Kuntz, Jonah Laulu, Thomas Booker along the defensive line. Trevin Ma'ai down there as well. Pair of tight ends, one to each side for the Texans. Mark stays in as the tailback. Gets a 3rd straight handoff off the right side. Bounces there, first down across the 45. And he's brought down by McCollum again at the 47, diving forward. Outside the numbers to the right, it's a pickup of 7 and a first down for Houston.
Yeah, I wanted to see how the Raiders would handle it. They went 13 personnel, and they always say, if you take it, you better make it. That time, Cody Lindenberg, number 55, he shot the gap. He didn't make the play, and that's how Woody Marks was able to get a little extra yards for a first down.
He's playing linebacker with Tommy Eichenberg. Eichenberg in his 3rd year out of Ohio State. Lindenberg, 7th round pick last year out of Minnesota. Press it down, Stroud under center again. This time a play fake. Rolling out to his left, dumps it short at the 45. It's caught, tracked down. Trade and Stukes read it the whole way. Xavier Hutchinson coming across right to left, almost directly in line with the line of scrimmage, and maybe gained a yard.
Yeah, sometimes you got to bring out the old protractor. I don't know if you ever used that in school, Jason. But
I don't think they use those anymore.
Yeah, but I use a protractor, and one thing when you talk about protractor is all about angles. And it was an amazing angle taken by Trade and Stukes. He was able to meet the receiver right at the point that was needed. Terrific open field tackle.
2nd round pick out of Arizona. Stukes so versatile. Got his hands on a lot of balls last couple of years for the Wildcats. Shotgun for Stroud. Throws left side. Back shoulder incomplete at the Raiders 39 on the Texans sideline. Porter in coverage. Again, they look for Hutchinson. 4th year receiver, 6'3", 210 out of Iowa State. And it's 3rd and 11 coming up for C.J. Stroud. And this is a point of emphasis, right? Raiders defense last year, 30th in the league, Kirk. They gave up 46% on 3rd down. This is 3rd and 11.
Yeah, remember last week, they were about 100% in the first half on 3rd down.
They being the Cardinals.
Yeah, the Cardinals were. So the Raiders cannot allow a first down here, especially with this down and distance.
Patrick Johnson on the edge, along with Tommy Eichenberg. Johnson had a sack last week against Arizona. Stroud in the shotgun, marks to his left. Gets the snap, back to throw, looking left, has the 40 and a first down. Darian Porter in single coverage, but coming back to the ball, Jared Wayne, the 6'3" receiver out of Pittsburgh in his 2nd year. At the Raiders' 41-yard line, they pick up 12, and they convert 3rd and 11.
Yeah, entirely too much time to throw. It was actually a zone pressure. They brought one extra guy, but there was just no pressure in C.J. Stroud's face. Too much time to allow him to throw and allow that route to develop. This is a tough cover for Darian Porter on the outside.
3 minutes gone by here in the opening quarter, preseason game 2. C.J. Stroud and the Texans starting offense on the field against the Raiders 2. Stroud to the play fake, under center, settles in the pocket, dumps it to his running back, marks at the 40, outside the right hash mark into the arms of Eichenberg. Trayden Stukes was there as well at the 36-yard line, hopped into both tacklers to pick up a 6.
You're just looking for this defense to bow its neck. Right now, it just seems like everybody's been in rhythm. The first drive last week versus Arizona, C.J. Stroud so far in rhythm with this offense so far. They're running the football well. They converted on a 3rd and long, and now they get a wide open first down where they pick up 6 yards on a check down.
Justin Watson, the former Chiefs receiver, slot to the left. Stroud rolling out to his right on 2nd and 4, gets the edge, and he dumps it at the feet of his tight end, Cade Stover. Patrick Johnson, just mentioned him. He didn't bite for the fake and was chasing him down to the far sideline. Forced Stroud to have to eat that football and dump it into the turf. It'll be 3rd down coming up here for the Texans and 4.
A nice job of flattening out was Patrick Johnson, meaning that he didn't go for the run fake. He flattened, waited for C.J. Stroud to hand it off. He didn't, and was able to still take a proper angle to go right at C.J. Stroud, who threw the ball in the dirt.
3 receivers tight to the left for C.J. Stroud. His lone wide out to the right is Jared Wayne, who converted that last 3rd and 11. This is 3rd and 4 from the Raiders' 35. High snap, blitz off the edge. Stroud steps up into the pocket, dumps it last second, and it's caught by Foster Morrow at the 26, and he falls to the turf at the numbers in the right 25. He dumped it right before he went across the line of scrimmage. Cody Lindenberg was giving chase, saw him, and then the former Raider was his bailout. He's got a first down.
Yeah, but this was all about his exit. The Raiders did a good job in the rush, but everybody just collapsed to one side. They opened and gave an exit to C.J. Stroud. I understand why the linebacker, Eichenberg, goes up to try to tackle C.J. Stroud, but when you do that, you leave your coverage open, and it was just an easy check down for a first down. Didn't like the exit they allowed C.J. Stroud on that rush.
10th play of the drive, an I formation and a flag thrown from the secondary before the snap.
Too many men in the defense with the snap imminent. 5-yard penalty, first down.
All right, so last week, a lot of penalties in the first half against the Raiders. And 12 men on the field with the snap coming up. Folu Fotukasi, by the way, just gave a nice hug to a couple of the Texans offensive linemen. Fotukasi signed with the Raiders 5 days ago. Last 2 years he played here in Houston, 6'4", 318 in his 9th year out of UConn. And now getting his first action for the Raiders right in the middle of that defensive line, which is now a 1st and 5 for Houston on the Raiders' 20-yard line. Again, an I formation with Stover, the tight end. They hand it off to Marks. Hawks right side across the 15. Breaks the tackle 10. Marks to the 5. Out of another tackle. Goal line. Touchdown, Houston. Woody Marks like a pinball racing to the end zone. And Houston takes the opening drive. He's got a 20-yard touchdown run. They convert 3rd down after 3rd down, and they're in the end zone.
Well, you asked me what I wanted to see from this Raiders defense. I wanted to see proper tackling. I didn't see that. It was an outstanding hole that was created, but it was the patience of Marks to allow them to help to be out. The Raiders is getting pushed off the ball. A terrific job of blocking, and then you get 2, 3, 4 missed tackles by wide open defenders who had a chance to pull them down.
Louis Bond, the rookie wide receiver, downfield through a great block. Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. It is right down the middle. And so the Texans offense, their first teamers, go right down the field. 10 plays, 69 yards. Marks 4 carries, 37 yards, and the touchdown. And the Texans leading the Raiders 7-0. 10:06 to go, first quarter here in the preseason. Timeout. You're listening to Raiders football.
Touchdown Raiders! Raiders fans, get more of the great content you crave right now on the Sirius XM app. Just search Las Vegas Raiders on the app and tap the favorite star. You not only hear the game with your hometown announcers, but you'll also get access to the pre- and post-game shows. And come back during the week for extra Raiders content, including coach and player press conferences, special team-specific shows, interviews, and much more. It's all on the Sirius XM app. Download it and search Las Vegas Raiders today.
Friday Night SmackDown is on Sirius XM WWE Radio. Hear the hard-hitting action.
Cody is busted wide open. Randy is unglued here. He is snapped. This is just savage, merciless. Oh.
And all the smack talk.
Easy to find, hard to beat.
Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett have the call of SmackDown. Friday nights at 8 Eastern on WWE Radio Channel 156 in the car and on the Sirius XM app. You can't win your fantasy football league in the summer, but you sure can lose it. On Sirius XM Fantasy Sports Radio, we created a winning fantasy football lineup to help you build a championship team.
Hey guys, need your help. Get
the edge you need from Jeff Manns, John Hansen, Jeff Radcliffe, Matthew Berry's Fantasy Life, and the Fantasy Footballers.
I require 2 of my first 4 rounds to be running backs.
Listen live on Channel 87 or prep your draft anytime by searching Draft Season on the Sirius XM app.
Getting you ready for the NFL season on the 2026 Training Camp Tour.
Cincinnati Bengals head coach Zach Taylor.
There's certainly a lot of excitement. I feel it all over town. The black cloud hangs over my head every day since the last season's ended, that we were 6-11, 3rd in the division, didn't go to the playoffs. It's all I think about. We're not just making it up, what we think it's going to look like and what we think it's going to take. We have everyone who's experienced that and knows what it's supposed to look like to get back to where we want to be.
Sirius XM NFL Radio Channel 88 and on the Sirius XM app.
Texans first-team offense did not play last week against the Chargers. Davis Mills led an opening touchdown drive. This week, C.J. Stroud and the Texans starters did play and start against the Raiders backups, and they go right down the field. 10 plays, 69 yards. And they need to emphasize the ground game this year. They went out and traded for David Montgomery, who's not playing tonight. But they went right down the field, and Woody Marks 4 carries, 37 yards in the touchdown. Texans set to kick it off with Kaimi Fairbairn right to left. Devin Tompkins and the rookie Roman Hemby back deep to receive for the Raiders. It is a line drive kick to Hemby at the 2. Left side coming out. Across the 15 and the 20. Hemby hit at the 25. And he falls forward, turns the legs to the 26-yard line. Well, his teammate last year at Indiana, Fernando Mendoza, coming out to start for the Raiders after getting the second set of snaps last week against the Cardinals. 10 of 16, 97 yards, and a touchdown pass for the 22-year-old rookie out of Indiana, coming off the season last year where he completed 72% of his passes, 41 touchdowns, just 6 interceptions. And he comes out with the 2s across the offensive line. Malik Benson to the right, Jalen Naylor starting at wide receiver out wide left. An I formation, Mike Washington behind Hayward. 3-step drop, throwing left, and it's over the head of Naylor at the 33-yard line on the far side of the field. Jalen Smith, corner for the Texans in the coverage. And Houston has a mixture, Kirk, of their starters and backups on defense here to open this ball game. Couple of their starters in the secondary. Reed Blankenship is out there. Jadeveon Clowney, the former number 1 overall pick in his 13th year, he is out there. But no Will Anderson, no Daniil Hunter, Stingley, Petrie, Kamari Lassiter, those guys not out there.
Yeah, see Hall as well at the defensive tackle. He is out there.
Veteran formerly of the Bucs. A lot of movement with Mendoza calling snaps from under center. We've got flags. Texans jumped. Raiders jumped. We'll see who jumped first.
I'm trying to figure out. I see the official pointing at the defense.
False start, number 80, offense. 5-yard penalty.
That's Ian Thomas.
Yeah, they got Ian Thomas coming out. So just early mistakes early on by the Raiders. You get the penalty on defense for too many men on the field before the snap, and now you get the false start by Ian Thomas. So that's not the way you want to start here. You get an incompletion on first down, and you're backed up 5 yards, 2nd and 15 for Fernando.
With 9:56 to go in the opening quarter, he is in the shotgun. He's got Washington to his left. He moves Jack Besh, slot left, over to the right side. Takes the shotgun snap. Texans come with 4. Mendoza in the pocket. That is a dart to Naylor at the 35. Angle into the middle 40 and chopped down at the 43-yard line. 23 yards on a laser to Jalen Naylor in his first year coming over from the Vikings.
Well, they say put down the old number 1. That's what the catcher would say. And that was a fastball to Jalen Naylor right there on the outside. A nice job by this offensive line. Gave Fernando Mendoza the time that was needed to get that ball down the field. Gave him just the window that he needed. And what a catch by Jalen Naylor. Been quiet this camp. His first big play that I've seen so far.
Naylor, 29 catches for 444 last year in his 4th year with Minnesota. High formation behind Mendoza. Takes the drop. Hands it off to Washington. Trying to follow the blockers. Bounces off to the midfield. And he's into the secondary. Washington to the 30 and just tripped up at the Texans 25. Jalen Smith tracked him down to save a touchdown, but he bounced off for 32 yards.
Yeah, I call him New York Mike because that time he hid just for a little game of hide and seek. Hid behind his offensive line. A nice job of getting another block was Connor Hayward, but he hid behind Caleb Rogers until he was able to see daylight. And once he gets to daylight, man, it's hard to catch him. That's 2 times he's been caught from behind. That didn't happen in Arkansas. I think he'll tell you those are supposed to go to the end zone.
Last week, a 53-yarder. This week, a big one. Mendoza at the Texans 25 with a play fake. Backpedaling, fires over the middle. Intercepted! Wade Woodhouse for the Texans across midfield, far sideline 40. Mendoza giving chase at the 30. Woodhouse to the 10, beats Mendoza. It's a pick 6 for Houston. Mendoza was laid across the middle trying to find someone streaking, and Wade Woodhouse, the 4th-round pick out of Clemson, picked it off and took it all the way back for a 80-yard pick 6.
Yep, you live and you learn. You got to understand that. That's why Fernando's playing. It's those types of plays that you can't. At Indiana, you can get away with that. But you throw laying it down across your body. That's Mike Washington, who's about 15 yards down the field. And Wood, as you mentioned, just steps right in front of that play, or that throw from Fernando Mendoza. and that's an 80-yard return for a touchdown.
So Fairbairn on to try the extra point again for Houston. That is up and through. And so last week for Mendoza, a couple of good jobs throwing the ball away, eating it. He throws a pick here after a couple of darts and a good run. And with 8:18 to go in the first, it's the Texans 14. Touchdown for the Houston offense. Touchdown for the Houston defense. Step aside. You're listening to the Las Vegas Raiders Radio Network.
Las Vegas business is moving fast, but you can stay ahead at vegasbusiness.com. Introducing Vegas Business, smart local coverage from the Las Vegas Review-Journal, built for the people shaping what's coming next. From gaming and real estate to tech, finance, and small business, Vegas Business connects you to the ideas and insights driving Southern Nevada's economy. Visit vegasbusiness.com for the latest updates and look for the bi-weekly print edition in Sunday's Review-Journal. Vegas Business, innovation, insight, impact.
Raiders fans know a thing or two about intense. And with the Platinum X5 Visa Signature Card from Credit One Bank, you'll earn intense cash back rewards on eligible purchases like gas and groceries. Perfect for any game day grocery runs or Raider Nation road trips. The Platinum X5 Visa Signature Card. See if you pre-qualify at CreditOneBank.com. Terms apply. Credit One Bank, for what's ahead.
Introducing the official debit card of the Las Vegas Raiders from America First Credit Union. It's a powerhouse Visa debit card, packed with features, packed with benefits, and packed with silver and black. The Raiders debit card from America First is the perfect way to pay and the perfect way to represent Raider Nation wherever you go. Get yours today, exclusively at America First Credit Union and americafirst.com/Raiders. Federally insured by NCUA Equal Opportunity Lender.
Rahan Naqvi with Naqvi Injury Law, here to give you some facts before you pick an injury lawyer. Fact 1. A lot of lawyers say they're the best, but only Naqvi won Best of Las Vegas Gold 11 straight times. Fact 2. Over 1,000 of our cases were referred to us from other lawyers. When other lawyers trust you to handle their cases, you should too. Focus on the facts when picking a lawyer. Call Naqvi at 702-INJURED.
Well, one of the things most commonly talked about here during training camp about Fernando Mendoza is that the rookie doesn't make the same mistake twice. He just threw a late pass over the middle, drifting from his left across his body that Wade Woodaz, the rookie linebacker out of Clemson, picked off. It took 80 yards for a touchdown. But rookies throw picks. Peyton Manning threw 28 picks his rookie year. How do you respond is the biggest question, and that's what Clint Kubiak's going to get to see here as Fairbairn line drives the kickoff towards the middle of the field. It's over Hemby's shoulder into the end zone. It bounced in the end zone first. So that touchback will come out to the 35-yard line. What are you taking away from that throw, Kurt?
First of all, he threw it behind his body, right? You can't throw back late in the down. And that was an easy pick from Woodaz. And so people are going to say, well, the running back should have sat. No. The running back shouldn't have sat. One of those plays that Fernando has to throw that ball away. Your initial progression was taken away. The second progression, he tried to check it down, but it was too far of a check down. That time, you just got to dirt the football.
So Clint Kubiak, who gave Fernando Mendoza a lot of reps with the ones on Tuesday in the joint practice with the Texans, said that was the plan all along. See what he looks like with the ones against one of the best defenses in the NFL. The team that last year led the NFL in yards allowed, second in points allowed. Got Mendoza back out there after throwing a pick six in I formation. Mike Washington behind Connor Hayward, the fullback. It's a run left side. Washington is eaten up in the backfield off the left tackle. Oh, man, Solomon Byrd just pushed Charles Grant all the way back to Washington. They lose 4 yards.
Yeah, I think it was a combination of Grant and Antonio Mafi, 56. That left side of the offensive line, just no help. I mean, they got pushed all the way back, and you can't have that type of penetration along the defensive front. Kind of remember what it looked like last year a lot of times with Ashton Genty on that last play.
Charles Grant left tackle. Antonio Mafi at guard. Jordan Meredith the start tonight at center. Caleb Rogers right guard. The rookie Trey Zune at right tackle. Third-round pick out of A&M. Delayed handoff to Washington. Big hole left side. Makes a move at the 35. Lowers the shoulder. And then Reed Blankenship over the top, coming over to help Jalen Smith. They get back to the original line of scrimmage. It's 3rd down and 10 coming up. It looked like the hole was going to be a lot bigger for Washington to get north and south.
Yeah, it just caved in quickly. I think it was just the angles of the safeties that came down and took it away. But we've got another 3rd down, or the first 3rd down opportunity for Fernando Mendoza today. I'm looking, Jason, right now, how does he handle 3rd and long? But more importantly, how does his offensive line hold up on 3rd and 9?
Two receivers split out wide left. Jalen Naylor, the lone wide out to the right. Mendoza in the shotgun. The snap. Pressure up the middle. He's hit as he throws. Just in front of Naylor as he streaked across midfield. The play was there. Naylor came open late, but Mendoza was hit as he threw it. It's incomplete. Jadeveon Clowney, the former #1 overall pick himself, got in front of this #1 pick. And it'll be a 4th down kick coming up.
Yeah, and that's just a KG veteran in Jadeveon Clowney. That's Trey Zone on the right side. He's the right tackle. Did a great job of staying patient, but he actually knocks Jadeveon Clowney into a path to get into the face of Fernando Mendoza, and that's what forced the errant throw.
A.J. Cole, a booming spiral punt that bounces at the 2, checks up in play, and the Raiders are down it at the 4. DeCamerion Richardson got down there to touch the football. If it stands, it's a 61-yard punt, but there is a penalty down at the 1-yard line by the official who was over on the far right pylon. And while the officials talk about it, we tell you the first quarter of Raiders football is presented by Credit One Bank, the official credit card of the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, is it possible Richardson went out of bounds on his own, was the first to touch it? Here's the call, Alan Eck. And that is exactly what it is. It's going to be illegal touching. Well, we were downstairs watching A.J. Cole in his warm-ups. It is truly remarkable how one of the best punters in the NFL, time and time again, can do what he just did.
Number 25 in the kicking team. The player went out of bounds, returned inbounds. It was the first to touch the kick. Since the touching was inside the 5, it's treated like a touchback. First down, Houston at the 20-yard line. Timeout.
Which stinks because there were 4 Raiders down there who could have touched it. And DeCamerion Richardson is the one who did, in fact, just do that. Texans 14, Raiders nothing. Davis Mills warming up, so my guess is C.J. Stroud's day is done after 1 drive. Here in preseason game number 2, 6:39 to go first quarter. You're listening to the Las Vegas Raiders Radio Network.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
A cool and crisp Modelo tastes good. But you know what tastes even better? That survived the evening rush Modelo. That post-12-hour shift Modelo. That fought for every rebound Modelo. That just clocked out on a Friday Modelo. That Modelo you earned is just better. That Modelo is the markable fighter. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
At Cox, your internet and mobile price won't change for 5 years. That's 5 New Year celebrations, 5 Valentine's Days, 5 4th of Julys, 5 Halloweens, 5 Thanksgivings, and 5 summers that go by too fast. Through it all, your price stays the same with our 5-year price lock guarantee. Cox, a step ahead. Requires 2 gig speeds and gig unlimited mobile. Taxes and fees excluded from price lock. Mobile data speeds reduced after 20 gigs.
Tim Cates back inside our Silver and Black studios with the Scoreboard update brought to you by Modelo, a reward for those with a fighting spirit. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. Drink responsibly. Imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois. One other game on this Thursday night. They're kicking things off in about 90 minutes in Los Angeles, SoFi Stadium. It's the Chargers and 49ers. Jim Harbaugh says the starters on both sides, including Justin Herbert, expected to play at least one series. Kyle Shanahan says all healthy starters will play for the 49ers, meaning Brock Purdy will play. Christian McCaffrey, though, not good to go. Minor lower body muscle tightness. He will sit this one out. Let's go back out to Houston. Jason Kirk, guys.
All right, Tim, it is great to hear your voice. You already sound in regular season form. And we will get going with the regular season against the Dolphins in a home game. Raiders have not opened at home the regular season since 2021. That will change this year in the first year under Clint Kubiak. Davis Mills is in at quarterback, sixth year out of Stanford. Handoff to Whittington, and he is blown up in the backfield. Fatukasi the first one through. Then it was Patrick Johnson to clean it up. That's a loss of 4 and a great play along the defensive line.
Yeah, that was some brotherly love right there. You mentioned it, a little two-man duo right there. Fatukasi got the push initially up, but then a nice job of playing clean up was Johnson. So two guys just making some plays early on this ride.
And some of the Texans starters are guys who have started, maybe not starting this year, but they're in there, including Jake Andrews. Started at center last year, the whole year. Shotgun to Davis Mills. Throws right side. Wide open is Morrow on the sideline. 25. Lowers his head to McCollum. Dives forward across the 30, and he's got a first down. We'll start him right there. So it's a pickup of 14 yards. And Kirk, we have seen that way too often so far in 5 quarters of preseason football.
Well, it just kind of early, similar to what we saw last season. Raiders will make a great play on first down, but it was what they gave up on second down. This time it's a first down, not even taking up half of it and creating a third and long or a third and short. This time the Texans go out to communicate and complete second and 14.
By the way, replay assist just came in and said he did not get to the 30-yard line.
Okay.
So they have spotted it back at just inside the 30. And there's all kinds of confusion. Alec Eck winds it. I think the Raiders think it's first down, but it's actually the chain's all the way set back. Now they've got it at third. So this is actually 3rd and a half a yard. A handoff to Whittington. He does have the 30. Fatukasi at the bottom of the line, cleaned up by Lindenberg. He gets to the 32. There is a late flag that was thrown at the 32-yard line. And the Texans are walking backwards like this is against Houston.
Personal foul, face mask, number 96, defense.
It is not.
15-yard penalty at the end of the run. Automatic first down.
So that is on Jonah Laulu. That is the 4th penalty here against the Raiders. We have not played 10 minutes in this first quarter. And Kirk, last week we saw 5 penalties in the first quarter and a half against the Raiders. We've seen it again here, and they've been very costly so far early in this first quarter.
Yeah, I'm taking notes of it right now. 4 penalties. That just seems like an undisciplined football team. And that's not what I see from Clint Kubiak, the way he coaches, the way that he approaches the game. Have not seen that so far in his training camp.
Davis Mills under center, trying to set up the screen left side. He's got Whittington with blockers across midfield to the Raiders 45. And Eichenberg spins him down just in front of the Texans bench at the 41-yard line. He picks up 12. It's a first down on the screen to the left side. And this Houston Texans offense, first with C.J. Stroud, now with Davis Mills marching down the field.
Yeah, they're just humming right now. That time trading Stukes, he blitzes off the edge. Well, if the running back doesn't come block you, that tells you something. Antennas go up. They're going to run a screen pass. And they threw the screen right behind the blitzing Trayton Stukes. And you mentioned it, they pick up 12 yards.
One of my favorite names, Fabechi Wiwu, was out there to get the block. Whittington chopped down with one arm by the defensive line. A fantastic job. J.J. Pegues, who started over the left tackle and came angling down, got his left arm, and he brought down Whittington just by that one arm.
Yeah, nice job of penetration, showing the ability to want to, right? We've seen a bunch of guys right now competing at the interior defensive tackle spot. Haven't had a chance to call J.J. Pegues' name a lot this training camp. Big night tonight for him.
Active each of the last 7 games at the end of last season in his second year out of Ole Miss. Mills back to throw. Raiders a blitz. Settles into the pocket. Lobs near side. One-on-one. Incomplete. Jalen Wayne trying to go up and grab it at the Raiders 20-yard line. Hezekiah Masses, solid coverage on the Texans sideline. He was closer to the end zone than Wayne. Never let the receiver get behind him.
Yeah, I like what Hezekiah Masses did. He kind of cut Wayne off. And it could have been a penalty because he got both hands on him. Would love to see him keep the hands off a little bit, not cut him off. Because when you impede the receiver a lot of times, they will throw that flag. But good coverage, good finish, something that we didn't see last week.
Texans 4-4 on third downs here in the first quarter. This 3rd and 9 from the Raiders 40. Mills out of the shotgun. Quick throw, left side. It's caught by the wide receiver. They set up the screen to the 35, and he's dropped at the 32-yard line. Daniel Sobkowitz, the undrafted free agent out of Illinois State, picked up 8. He's about a yard shy of the marker. And D'Amico Ryans will send on one of the best kickers in football, Kaimi Fairbairn, to try a 50-yarder instead of go for it on 4th and 1.
I'm surprised they're not going for it on 4th and 1. You don't get these opportunities a lot to have that short yardage, especially right now in preseason. Surprised they're going for the field goal right here, and surprised they got so many yards on 3rd and long.
Officially a 51-yarder. Fairbairn last year, 44 made field goals. Tied an NFL record for most in a single season. From the left hash, it is put down. The kick is on its way, and it sails inside the right upright. So Fairbairn gets some work here in the first quarter. And for the Texans, well, they look right now like a team that's thinking Super Bowl. 17-0 Houston, 3:04 to go, first quarter here in the preseason. We'll step aside. You're listening to the Las Vegas Raiders Radio Network.
As the official ticket marketplace of the Raiders and the NFL, Ticketmaster has a wide selection of tickets available for every game. Whether you're cheering on the Raiders at home or away, Ticketmaster has you covered. With Ticketmaster's interactive seat map, you'll get a 360-degree preview of your seat so you can make sure you have the best view of those pivotal plays. Plus, the Ticketmaster app makes it easy to sell or transfer your tickets if your plans change, and the mobile tickets make getting in on game day a breeze. Find tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/Raiders. That's Ticketmaster.com/Raiders.
Hey Raiders fans, Jason Horowitz again, reminding you that halftime is a great time to learn more about Raiders themed slot machines developed by Aristocrat, from the same team that created Buffalo. Come to slot games where you can pick your team, play your team, and put a whole new spin on just win, baby. Check out the Raiders themed slot machines developed by Aristocrat, a proud sponsor of the Las Vegas Raiders. Gambling problem? Please contact the U.S. National Problem Gambling Helpline, 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-GAMBLER for 21 and over.
This is Modelo Especial, a full-flavored golden lager with a crisp, refreshing taste from start to finish. Brewed with time, effort, and determination to get the balance just right. Because when a beer is made right, you can feel it. Modelo Especial, the model for everyday beer. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
.4 to go here in the opening quarter from Houston. Texans 17, Raiders nothing. Jason Horowitz, Cinco Deuce, Greg Morrison, happy to have you deep in the heart of Texas. Fernando Mendoza's had a couple of drives, pick 6, and then a 3-and-out. Meanwhile, the Texans starting offense got an opening 10-play drive, a 20-yard touchdown run by Woody Marks, and then just settled for a 51-yard field goal. So again, you expect rookies to learn, and the Raiders are playing a lot of rookies trying to learn here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. It's a youthful football team, and they're going to get better. We know that. And this is the opportunity to do it right here in this preseason game. You know, Fernando threw the pick 6, and they had a 3-and-out the next drive. So I want to see Fernando put a good drive together, make some quality decisions, move the ball, set himself up and his team up for some points.
Fairbairn, a line drive kick that falls short of the landing zone at the 23 and angles to the near sideline out of bounds. Remember, 3rd year of the NFL dynamic kickoff.
Short of the landing zone on number 15. The receiving team will take possession at the 40-yard line. First down, Las Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, remember, I
was like, it's a 40, right?
Yeah, listen, preseason form for everybody. And I'm sure for Kaimi Fairbairn, right, and their kickoff special team unit, they are also trying, hey, how does it look if we kick it down to the 18-yard line,
right,
60, whatever, and he came up a little bit short. So here comes Fernando Mendoza, so far 1 of 4, a 22-yard strike to Jalen Naylor. Raiders, again, not playing any of their starters here tonight. Some of the Texans, Reed Blankenship, the safety who came over from Philly, Jadeveon Clowney, former number 1 pick. Those guys still both on the field. Mendoza's under center. Sends Malik Benson in motion right to left. It's a handoff right side. Solid block for Washington. Gets the edge. 45. Breaks out of a tackle. And he lowers the shoulder on the near sideline up to the 49-yard line. He picks up 9, and he is showing massive burst in his first couple of games for the Silver and Black.
Well, he better make sure to give Trey Zune a nice little high five, because Zune has Jadeveon Clowney. Look at that. You're a rookie. You got the former number 1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney, in front of you. Jadeveon Clowney slanted to the inside. Zune just washed him down. That's what created the hole to the outside, and Mike Washington took advantage of it.
Great cuddle. 2 tight ends left. Mendoza under center. Washington again stutters. He's got the first down across midfield. Carries a couple of defenders down to the Houston 48-yard line. Picks up 3. and a first down. You know, Jadeveon Clowney, 2014, first overall, 5 years with the Texans. But the last 7 years, Kirk, 6 teams. Seattle, Tennessee, Cleveland for 2 years. Baltimore, Carolina. Last year, he had 8.5 sacks with Dallas. 5 times he's had between 8.5 and 9.5 sacks. He's never had 10 in a year.
Yeah, he's been a complimentary player. He actually enters this Texans team as a rotational defensive end / I think just unique pass rusher to give a Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter a break when they need one.
More on those guys in a second. Mendoza under center. It's a third straight handoff to Washington. Gets behind Okwuegbunam, the tight end, but he stood up at the line. And he shoved backwards. Maybe no gain. Jalen Reed came down from his safety spot, his second year out of Penn State. You know, to your point about Anderson and Danielle Hunter, those two guys as teammates, 50 sacks over the course of the last 2 seasons. No duo has more, and they're paid like it. The two of them now combined to make $90 million this season.
That's a lot of money. And there's a reason why they pay those guys that kind of money. They get after the quarterback. They're the anchors for this Texans defense.
Pistol formation for Mendoza, 2nd and 10 from the 48-yard line. Looking right, angling left through Dylan Lowby out to the left side. Gets a block, breaks a tackle, 45-40 down the sideline. First down. Dylan Lowby got a nice block from his wide receiver out there. Maybe it was the fullback Connor Hayward who was out there to block for him. Picked up 12, and he's got a first down.
All these runs last week from Mike Washington, and no one gave enough credit to Connor Hayward except my partner to my left.
Thank you.
It was you go with Connor Hayward last week on the big run by Mike Washington, and he's done a tremendous job. I had a chance to talk with him this week. I was like, man, you're doing a good job in blocking. You're having to just knock a guy over, but you've been in great places to create opportunities for players, and that was a nice job to allow Lowby to get to the outside.
Lowby stays in. Hayward lines up as a tight end, throws a block. Mendoza looking left, hits Hayward at the 35, spins to his left, trying to break a tackle, dragging Jake Hummel inside the 30. Finally won't go down. They blow it dead after he picks up 9 yards. Connor Hayward is 5th year out of Michigan State. The family everyone knows. Cameron Hayward, great for the Steelers, still playing. Last year, Hayward had 15 carries, 2 rushing touchdowns. He only had 3 catches. They bring in a fullback, right? The Raiders bring in a fullback, and he looks, at least from what we've seen in camp and in preseason, like he's going to get a lot of playing time.
He's going to get a lot of playing time. That time, Fernando Mendoza took a shot from Jalen Smith. He was the wide-open defender who came down and hit Fernando Mendoza, but still able to get that football off. And that's a nice job of Connor Hayward acting like Cam Hayward, right?
Yeah.
Or acting like Pops. Oh, yeah. Ironhead Hayward on that one.
The apple didn't fall far from the tree. Maybe the size did. That pass, though, did bring us to the end of the first quarter. Texans leading the Raiders 17-0. But the Raiders are on the move for the second time here tonight. It's the end of the first. You're listening to the Las Vegas Raiders Radio Network.
Hey, did you see that game last weekend? It was crazy.
Actually, we were there.
Wait, like in person? How'd you swing that?
Allegiant had a super affordable nonstop flight out there. And with how low the airfare was, buying tickets to the game was a no-brainer.
Hold my beer. I'm going to Allegiant.com right now.
Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. Nonstop flights from Las Vegas to Santa Maria, one way for as low as $44. Must be purchased by 9/13/2026 for travel between 8/20/2026 and 2/7/2027. Seats and dates are limited. Restrictions apply. See Allegiant.com for details.
A cool and crisp Modelo tastes good. But you know what tastes even better? That survived the evening rush Modelo. That post-12-hour shift Modelo. That fought for every rebound Modelo. That just clocked out on a Friday Modelo. That Modelo you earned is just better. That Modelo is the markable fighter. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
When it comes to hospitality, entertainment, and gaming, one name stands above the rest. Yamava Resort and Casino at San Manuel. Its excellence is recognized by national awards, including a Best Casino Outside of Las Vegas title from Newsweek in 2025, and 3 times USA Today's Reader's Choice honors. Plus, it's the only casino hotel with a prestigious AAA 5-diamond rating, over 7,500 slots, A-list entertainment, world-class hospitality. Discover why Yamava is California's #1 entertainment destination. Details at yamava.com. Must be 21 to enter. Please gamble responsibly.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Clint Kubiak in his first year as the Raiders head coach, back in a stadium that he knew all too well. His dad, Gary Kubiak, the head coach here for Houston 2006 to 2012. Clint talked this week how cool it was, knew coming to practice, seeing his dad do the whole thing. His dad was at the joint practice on Tuesday. Good to talk to Gary a little bit. He won a Super Bowl with the Broncos after his time in Houston. Raiders start with a 2nd and 1 to start the second quarter. Mendoza in trouble, and he's backed up into a sack at the 40-yard line. The moment he came out of it, Caden McDonald, the rookie out of Ohio State, they faced each other last year in the Big Ten Championship, and McDonald dropped him for a loss of 11. It'll be 3rd down and 12.
And that's just a miscommunication on the right side, the left side. It's the center, Jordan Meredith, who didn't push down. Antonio Mafi, the left guard, he's expecting help to the inside. He didn't get that help, and that was just an easy free run to the quarterback by Caden McDonald, the 2nd-round pick of the Texans.
Raiders break the huddle with 8 on the play clock. They are in the shotgun. 2 receivers right, 2 left, and now a timeout by Clint Kubiak. You know, that's one of those things that happened, too, with a rookie, as we'll keep it right here, with 14-17 to go in the second quarter. How fast can you get in and out of the huddle? And we've heard that before. You know, Kirk Cousins, he and Clint Kubiak were together for 3 years. He's been in the league for now 15th season. You expect him to get the play, get the call, and break huddle faster than a rookie in his first training camp.
Yeah, that's one of the things that during training camp, I kind of kept a stopwatch. And I just always see how quickly guys are getting in and out of the huddle. Kirk Cousins, very efficient. And Fernando Mendoza starting to get there, where you can get to the line of scrimmage. And with some of the shifts and motions and movement that's needed to get a play off, the quicker you're getting in and out of the huddle, it's a lot easier on the quarterback. So I know that's an emphasis for Fernando Mendoza as he continues through his first training camp.
Of course, the Raiders' big offseason acquisition on the line, Tyler Linderbaum, who is in jersey but no shoulder pads on the sideline. 3rd and 11, quick snap. Mendoza over the middle to Ian Thomas. He's swarmed under by a pair of Texans at the 34. So they pick up 5 on 3rd and 12 to get them back into field goal range. And so they will trot out Matt Gay. And again, we talked about this before the game.
We did.
Not only is it important for Fernando Mendoza to play well and learn, and he's thrown a pick 6 tonight in the red zone, but they also have a kicking battle. And here's Matt Gay trotting down for a 52-yard field goal.
And Alex Ward will be the long snapper here at 47. We talked about a snapper battle as well, so Ward will be the snapper.
A.J. Cole will put it down just inside the left hash mark for Matt Gay. His 8th year out of Utah. High snap, put down. The kick is up for Gay, and it is good. A line drive boot that would have been good from 60. And the Raiders on the board with 13:34 to go here in the second quarter. It is Houston 17, Las Vegas 3. TV is not taking a timeout, so we will not either, and we appreciate that here in the preseason.
Absolutely. You start looking down, you start hearing those whistles, like, where's the flag? Where's the flag? No flag on the play, but Fernando Mendoza just led a scoring drive, and that's the positive. We talk about that first drive comes out, he throws the pick 6, 3 and out the next drive, and then what do you do on that 3rd drive? And so you think about some of the plays that he made, throwing it out there to Laube, the check down to Connor Hayward. He took a couple shots, but at the end of the day, was not flustered by the sack by Caden McDonald, stayed in there, got enough yards on 3rd down, and you get a field goal on 4th down. So that's some of the growth that you're seeing right there from not making a mistake twice, Fernando Mendoza.
Noah Whittington, fellow rookie Trayvon Saunders back deep to receive the kickoff for Matt Gay. Whittington last year at Oregon. Saunders, rookie undrafted out of Colgate. 230 career receptions, a school record. 5'9", 190 pounds. In case you're wondering, Colgate is in upstate New York in Hamilton. Right to left, Matt Gay. A high end-over-end kick to Whittington, far side of the field. He's coming out from the goal line across the 10, has the 20, and he's spun down from behind. Solid coverage by the Texan, Buddy Johnson. Not the Houston Texan, the Texan native, Buddy Johnson.
There's a lot of Johnsons on the Raiders.
There are a lot of Johnsons.
A lot of Johnsons.
Yeah.
You got, what, Taryn, you've got
Buddy,
Dalton, Buddy, Patrick.
Yep, 4 Johnsons.
Yeah, 4 Johnsons.
One shy of a basketball team. I'm sure we can get a fifth before next week.
Well,
right?
they should all be getting deals with Johnson & Johnson.
Yeah.
They get some powder, baby oil, get all kind of stuff going on.
Well, baby oil, I believe, is illegal on the football field, right? Illegal substance?
I'm talking about some of the things off the field, okay?
Mills back to pass. He's flushed out of the pocket, out to his right. He's at the 20. He's going to put it down, and he's shoved out of bounds at the 26-yard line. Shegu Alubi, special team extraordinaire with the Colts, was signed by the Raiders here in the offseason. He chased him down after a pickup of 3.
You know, that's what San Diego State alums do. They go track the football. And that's a former linebacker at San Diego State, showing how you do it, take the right angle, but doing a nice job of not fully pushing all the way through, guiding the quarterback Mills out of bounds, and keeping his defense in a position to have second and long.
He's in linebacker with Cody Lindenberg here on what is the third drive for the Texans. Quick throw, Davis Mills, left side, wide receiver screen, and it's blown up immediately.
Yes, sir.
Hezekiah Massis got through the block of the rookie receiver Lewis Bond, got him low around the ankles, and held on for his teammates.
They say scrub the ground. His left shoulder pad literally scrubs the ground as he got underneath the block of the receiver, was able to dip underneath and then go grab cloth. That's a tremendous tackle by Hezekiah Massis. A lot of people said, would he be a physical cornerback? Would he be able to tackle? Well, he's shown me not only last week, and a terrific play on the perimeter right there with a nice little tap, open field tackle.
3rd and 7 for the Texans on their own 26, left to right. Shotgun for Mills, Whittington to his left. Raiders show blitz, they back out, come with just 4. Mills in the pocket, fires over the middle. It's caught at the 35. Lewis Bond came back to the ball. Tremendous coverage by Trayden Stukes, but the rookie out of Boston College brought it into his shoulder pads.
Yeah, that's a difficult catch, and you got to tip your hat to Bond. He's got Trayden Stukes all over him. Stukes has the opportunity to knock this ball away, but it's the body of Bond at 5'11", 190, was able to extend his hands and get to the football before Trayden Stukes could knock that ball away.
That's a great catch. 6th round pick out of BC. Mills under center. Steps into the pocket, sets up the screen right side to the tight end. At the 40, it's the rookie out of Michigan, Marlon Klein, out to the 42-yard line, outside the numbers. He picked up 7 yards. Shegu Alubi out there to make the tackle. And, you know, you mentioned Alubi out of San Diego State.
Yes, sir.
You know, guys who come on and are special team, mostly exclusive in the NFL, they played positions in college. But the last 2 years, Alubi's only played 27 total defensive snaps.
Correct.
He's been exclusively special teams.
He's been primarily special teams, along with Buddy Johnson as well. Won a Super Bowl with the Philadelphia Eagles. So, yeah, you've got some guys who have played some significant spots on special teams.
Handoff right side, Whittington gets through the defense, out into the secondary, tracked down by Dalton Johnson at the 49-yard line on the Texans sideline near side. Picked up 7. It's another set of downs, and Houston has been running the ball at will here in the first half. They lead 17-3, 10:40 to go second quarter.
Yeah, this time it's just multiple guys. They just got to get off blocks. Too many guys who are being blocked. You got to get off the block.
Texans break huddle. Davis Mills under center. Foster Morrow, the tight end to the right side, his hand on the dirt outside the right tackle, Braden Smith. Whittington, the tailback, puts his hands on his helmet as Mills checks the line. He checks it into a run. Whittington into the right side. There is Patrick Johnson, who stood his ground, and he held on. It's a 3-yard gain. Dalton Johnson came over.
A little too much penetration is what I'm seeing, Jason. Is that guys are getting pushed back a little bit too much, not necessarily standing their ground. And you see why Fatukasi was signed this week. Folo Fatukasi, why he was signed this week. He's a big guy, being able to, I think, take up 2 offensive linemen at 6'4", 318. Just watching him right now work in the middle of this defense.
He's off the field now. J.J. Pegues, Jonah Laulu, the defensive lineman on the field. Check that, Thomas Booker with Pegues. Pressure up the middle. There is Booker into the backfield. And he sacked Davis Mills at the 46-yard line of Houston. Thomas Booker with a tremendous get off at the snap, and it's a loss of 7 yards.
He was one of those restricted free agents that the Raiders wanted to bring back, and that was a nice job of just running the hoop. He does a good job of getting and engaging, but he's had to work on getting off. That time, this was just a nice little move. He runs the hump and was able to bend the corner and go get a sack.
And that's against the veteran Wyatt Teller who they gave a $16 million 2-year contract in the offseason, but he's been in a battle at guard. So this is 3rd down and 13 for the Texans on their own 47. Raiders bring 4. Mills back in the pocket. He's dancing. He throws near side. It's caught on the Texans side of the field and nowhere to go. Alubi out into the flat to bring down the running back, Owen Wright. It's a pickup of maybe 4, and it'll set up 4th down. And that defensive stop is brought to you by Coors Light. Mountain Cold for Raider Nation 2026. Celebrate responsibly.
What a drive by Alubi, right? He made some plays on that one, just tracking guys down, showing off that type of speed that he has. And maybe you find a role for a guy like that on your defense in some of those sub packages. We haven't had a chance to see an extended period of Quay Walker and Nakobe Dean, but that's going to be the role that those guys play in this defense. Track, seek, hit, make plays.
Kai Kroger, it is an end-over-end punt. Malik Benson waving his arm at the 10-yard line. He calls for the fair catch, and he makes it at the 9-yard line on the left numbers. So it is a punt of 40 yards, and the Raiders will take over for Fernando Mendoza inside his 10-yard line. It is Houston 17, Las Vegas 3, 8:01 to go here in quarter number 2. And with that, we will step aside here from Reliant Stadium. 17-3, Texans on top. You're listening to Raiders football.
The SiriusXM NFL Radio Training Camp Tour checked in with the Ravens and spoke with QB Lamar Jackson.
Trey Hendrickson, I mean, what does a guy like that add to your team? You've had to go against him twice a year.
Just to have him on our side, man, and don't have to face him twice a year, it's extraordinary. Yes. And I'm loving it. I drop back. He's already in my face. Yeah. You know, he's making things happen. Started making our life difficult on offense in training camp. He's going to make the opposing team's life difficult on offense.
SiriusXM NFL Radio Channel 88 and on the SiriusXM app. When you listen to Moving the Chains on SiriusXM NFL Radio, you'll hear former fullback Jacob Hester, who knows what it takes to compete on the gridiron.
Give me a helmet, and I'll prove to every single one of you that I belong in the National Football League.
And former front office executive Pat Kerwin, who understands the importance of having the right personnel.
I did sign a player while being the first base coach for my son's Little League team.
Moving the Chains, weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern on NFL Radio Channel 88.
College football never fails to deliver.
The countdown to college football season is on SiriusXM College Sports Radio.
Touchdown!
It's nonstop talk about your favorite school.
Guaranteed this season, something will happen you've never seen before.
And our experts break down the contenders for the college football playoff.
I am all in on Oregon. Championship caliber defense.
It's all on College Sports Radio, Channel 84 in the car, and on the SiriusXM app.
My goodness!
Sometimes you only get one look at greatness. After all, there's only one Marcus Allen, only one Howie Long, and one Cliff Branch. There's only one Lombardi Trophy, only one case of Super Bowl rings, and only one Hall of Fame gallery that houses the bronze bust of each Hall of Famer. And they all live in one place, the Pro Football Hall of Fame, where one look at greatness lives forever. Ignite the passion, relive the glory. Book your visit now at ProFootballHOF.com.
Kirk Morrison back with you in H-Town. Texans 17, Raiders 3. 8:01 to go second quarter. Raiders start on their own 9-yard line with Mendoza still working here in the first half under center Mike Washington, the tailback. It's a play fake. Mendoza rolling out to his left. Dumps it short to Thomas at the 10. Looks upfield 15. And he's shoved out of bounds. He gets across the 19. Enough for a first down. And with that, we pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Raiders football.
Listen to groundbreaking interviews and thrilling play-by-play all season long.
Touchdown!
On SiriusXM NFL Radio Channel 88 and the SiriusXM app.
Fernando Mendoza here in the first half, 4 of 7 for 47 yards. The one big mistake on the Raiders' opening drive, they got a big Mike Washington run, but then a pick six, an 80-yard to the linebacker Wade Woodaz. 1st and 10, handoff Washington, trying the right side, met in the hole, driven backwards. A solid tackle, Elijah Huzzy, the nickel corner in his first year out of North Carolina. Nothing on the play.
Yeah, but those are the kind of plays that Mike Washington, he's got to make a miss. Everybody's blocked. You've got to make the safety miss. So that's what he's going to learn as a young back. Everything's blocked up perfectly. You've got to make the one guy miss in the hole. And I think he could have gave him a little stutter. If not, be your own blocker, run right through him. but a great tackle by Huzzy.
Mendoza back to pass, throws right side, tight coverage, hits Ian Thomas in the right flat, but hit immediately and brought down. Jalen Reed, the safety, after maybe 3. So it'll be 3rd down and 7. The Raiders tonight 2 on 3rd down. And again, the Raiders tonight, no starters, offense or defense on the field. Texans starters on offense got 1 series. Pretty much their 2nd and 3rd string defensive players. Mendoza back to throw. Plenty of time. Looking left. Now fires near side. Caught Benson at the 40. Leaps into the air in front of the defender to make the grab at the 41-yard line. He beat the safety Kayvon Merriweather for 18 yards. The rookie out of Oregon moves the chain.
And that's his favorite target, Malik Benson. These guys have been running sort of with the second-team offense throughout training camp. And so the guy that it seems like he's got the most chemistry with is Malik Benson. They seem to have a knack to putting the ball where it needs to be, and Malik Benson has made plays. I think he's elevated himself to one of these starting wide receiving spots.
Mendoza's under center, an offset eye. Washington behind Hayward. Dash motions right to left. Another play fake. He's looking left, setting up the screen. Has Washington with blockers. Gets to the outside 45. And a shoestring tackle made on the Texans sideline right near midfield. Jamal Hill, the backup linebacker, the 3rd year out of Oregon, came over to make the stop, but 9 yards. And, you know, Kirk, Fernando had that pick 6. He has now completed 6 consecutive passes.
Yeah. Since the interception. Is that?
One more incompletion, but see, he was starting this game 1 of 4. He is now 7 of 10.
That's how you do it. And that's what you expect. It's 4 of 4 on this drive so far. 4 straight completions. You just talk about a guy who's shaking off that earlier interception. We're seeing it right here in front of us.
The receivers stacked left, including 2 tight ends. It's a handoff right up the middle. Mike Washington, offensive line, gets a push down to the 45, and it's a 1st down. That's a gain of 6 on 2nd and 1, and that offensive line had pushed the Texans 3-4 yards back before Washington was even touched.
Yeah, we're talking about Caden McDonald and some guys who are some stout defenders in that teeth of that defense of the Texans. I love the short yardage of Mike Washington. He showed it last week on a 3rd and short. There was a 2nd and short, keeping his shoulders square, getting downhill. Mike Washington, 6'2", 228.
Quick snap for Mendoza, and he's got pressure in his face, and he's hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. Jack Besh, kind of his intended receiver. Mendoza was drilled to the turf. And he quickly gets up. And this is the thing people have noticed about Mendoza. He got drilled. There was nothing there. He threw it close enough to Besh. It's not grounding. But as he gets up with Naquan Jones, who's 315 pounds, he's clapping his hands. He gives a high five to his right side of his offensive line, and they're back in the huddle.
Yeah, that's just what he is. He pops up. He's like an old fighter, right? Hey, you got me with one. I'm going to get right back up, and I'm going to throw one right back at you. That's how Fernando Mendoza has done so far in his opportunities.
2nd and 10 at the Texans 45. Washington again the lone setback. Getting a ton of work tonight. Toss play right side. Washington gets outside 45. Couple of Texans there. Bounces off of the first defender. Scoots forward for about 3 down to the 42-yard line. Big time hit. Aiden Fisher. Another one of Fernando's teammates at Indiana. 7th round pick. He was an All-American linebacker for Indiana and Kurt Signetti last year. That'll be 3rd down and 7. It is remarkable, Kurt. I mean, you would have said that was crazy 5 years ago that there'd be Indiana players all over the draft. Right. The last 2 years, obviously a different story, and Fernando the headline of all of that. 3rd down and 7 coming up. This from the 42-yard line of Houston. Dylan Laube in the backfield with Mendoza. Snap to Mendoza. 3-step drop. Looks right. Throws right. And Benson dropped it at the 35. An out route. He got in front of Jalen Smith. He was open. He hit him in the hands, and he couldn't bring it in.
Well, he was already running. He was running toward the end zone. His head is already turned up the field before he was able to bring the ball all the way in was Benson.
That's a perfect pass.
That's a perfect pass. That goes down as an incompletion for Fernando Mendoza. But Benson was already thinking touchdown and should have had a completion.
So the Raiders will punt it away. A.J. Cole on the punt. Last one he dropped inside the 5. When you do it again, they're going to snap it from the Texans 42. Gets the snap. It is a high end-over-end kick, angling left side. Fair catch called for and made at the 8-yard line by Trayvon Saunders. So it's a 34-yard punt, nothing on the return. And the Texans will take over inside their own 10-yard line. 3:39 to go in the second quarter. Houston 17, Las Vegas 3. And we will step aside. More action from Houston next. You're listening to the Las Vegas Raiders Radio Network.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Ever see people move an umbrella at a tailgate to cover the beer coolers? Or fill their only sink in a hotel room with ice? It's actually kind of crazy the lengths people will go to make sure their beer is ice cold. But no matter what people do, one thing is pretty clear. Because it's not a beer unless it's a cold beer. That's why the Coors Light Mountains turn blue. To tell you when your beer is as cold as the Rockies. Celebrate responsibly. 2026 Coors Brewing Company. Golden, Colorado. Beer.
Cox, your internet and mobile price won't change for 5 years. That's 5 New Year celebrations. 5 Valentine's Days. 5 4th of Julys. 5 Halloweens. 5 Thanksgivings. And 5 summers that go by too fast. Through it all, your price stays the same with our 5-year price lock guarantee. Cox, a step ahead. Requires 2 gig speeds and gig unlimited mobile. Taxes and fees excluded from price lock. Mobile data speeds reduced after 20 gigs.
Whether you're courtside or poolside, in a box suite or penthouse suite, on the sideline or a zip line, there's no better place than Vegas to be part of the action. In the arena and out on the town. The loudest cheers, the brightest lights, and the sweetest celebrations. Wherever your night takes you, welcome to Las Vegas. Plan your trip today at visitlasvegas.com.
Jason Horowitz, Kurt Morrison back with you here inside Reliance Stadium. You know, in the preseason, you're always looking to see how a team does in situations. And with 3:39 to go here in the second quarter, and the Texans backed up on their own 9, if the defense can get a stop, you get an opportunity for Fernando Mendoza and the offense to have a 2-minute drill. Davis Mills is under center, an offset eye, and a handoff in the backfield, and that's a great start by Jonah Laulu. He broke through along with Thomas Booker, who brought him down. It's a loss of 4. Booker had a sack on the last drive and a great get off on that first down.
Yeah, this is a nice job of disengaging Laulu and Booker. I think Booker beat him there. Booker's doing a good job. He's going to be in this rotation. We know in the front it's been Adam Butler with a little mix of Tonka Hemingway as well, the second-year defensive tackle. But now Thomas Booker, Laulu, those are the guys who are going to be vying for a lot of playing time behind that first unit.
Kieron Crawford, the rookie out of Auburn. Patrick Johnson, those are your edge rushers here on 2nd and 13. Back to throw. Mills is in the end zone, over the middle, tight coverage, and that is brought in. Oh, man, the veteran Justin Watson with phenomenal hands in front of the rookie Tremont McCoy. He's about a yard shy of the marker. It'll be 3rd down and 1 on a slant. That was a dart.
I'm not sure how he caught that football. I mean, Tremont McCoy's right there. He's got terrific coverage. But again, it's the finish. He's got to be able to knock that ball away at the last second. I think he just stuck his hand in there. You got to learn to swipe all the way down and knock that ball away.
3rd and 1, Mills in the shotgun. Rolling out to his left. He's got a wide open receiver left side across the 30. And he's chopped down out of bounds by McCollum at the 34-yard line. Streaking right to left, it was the tight end Marlon Klein. He picked up 17 yards and he was wide open.
Yeah, he was wide open because he came from the opposite side. You got to be able to think this is going to be a quick check to the outside. A quick, easy throw, and that's what it was. It was an easy throw. He didn't engage with the defensive line. He engaged for a second and went out, and I think everybody just forgot about him as he was lost in the coverage.
And that's going to bring us to the 2-minute warning. The 2nd-round pick for the Texans, Marlon Klein, 6'6", 250, rookie out of Michigan. And he moves the chains for D'Amico Ryan. So 2 minutes to go here in Houston. Texans 17, Raiders 3 here in the second quarter. You're listening to the Las Vegas Raiders Radio Network.
Hey, did you see that game last weekend? It was crazy.
Actually, we were there.
Wait, like in person? How'd you swing that?
Allegiant had a super affordable nonstop flight out there. And with how low the airfare was, buying tickets to the game was a no-brainer.
Hold my beer. I'm going to Allegiant.com right now.
Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. Non-stop flights from Las Vegas to Santa Maria, one way for as low as $44. Must be purchased by 9/13/2026 for travel between 8/20/2026 and 2/7/2027. Seats and dates and limited restrictions apply. See Allegiant.com for details.
A cool and crisp Modelo tastes good. But you know what tastes even better? That survived the evening rush Modelo. That post-12-hour shift Modelo. That fought for every rebound Modelo. That just clocked out on a Friday Modelo. That Modelo you earned is just better. That Modelo is the markable fighter. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
At Cox, your internet and mobile price won't change for 5 years. That's 5 New Year celebrations, 5 Valentine's Days, 5 4th of Julys, 5 Halloweens, 5 Thanksgivings, and 5 summers that go by too fast. Through it all, your price stays the same with our 5-year price lock guarantee. Cox, a step ahead. Requires 2 gig speeds and gig unlimited mobile. Taxes and fees excluded from price lock. Mobile data speeds reduced after 20 gigs.
For a limited time, get 20% off an NFL Plus annual plan. With NFL Plus, stream live out-of-market preseason games, live local and primetime regular season games on mobile and NFL Network, including 7 exclusive live games this season. With NFL Plus Premium, watch every touchdown every Sunday afternoon during the regular season with NFL Red Zone. Catch game replays and access NFL Pro. Limited time offer ends September 21st. Sign up today at plus.nfl.com/radio. Terms and conditions apply.
Well, last week, the Arizona Cardinals quarterbacks missed on just 4 passes in their win at Allegiant Stadium. Today, C.J. Stroud, Davis Mills are a combined 13 of 16 for 109 yards. Houston 17, Raiders 3. Texans with a fresh set of downs on their own 35 coming out of the 2-minute warning. Mills is 9 of 10 for 82 yards, and he's under center. Rolling out to his left across his body again. Same play to Marlon Klein. He was off balance, didn't get all the way to the first down. Picked up 7 yards, and he's run out of bounds by Crawford. Gets out of bounds to stop the clock. 8 completions in a row. And Davis Mills had a weird week 1 against the Chargers because Graham Mertz came in the second quarter. Right. Is their 3rd string quarterback. He tears his ACL. So they have to go back to Davis Mills in the second half because C.J. Stroud wasn't playing last week. There wasn't another quarterback on the roster. We do expect to see Brett Rippon in the second half, who's been on this team for 5 days.
Yeah, a lot of handoffs last week in that second half.
Yeah.
For the Houston Texans in watching that game.
2nd and 3 on their own 42. This is a handoff trying the right side, right into the arms of Patrick Johnson, who stands him up. And he waits for Cody Lindenberg to help. He got off the block of the right tackle, Braden Smith. And it's 3rd down coming up with 140. Neither team using any other timeouts.
But throw in Fadokasi as well, 63. He was right there as well. He's been getting off the football. He's been here for 12 minutes with the Raiders and already making some plays along that defensive front.
Well, as he told you this week, he was in Arizona working on his football body.
He sure did.
Which is 6'4", listed at 318. 3rd down and 4 for the Texans. They need their own 45 for a first down. Mills in the shotgun. Gets the snap. Looking to throw. Pumps right side. Out route. Incomplete. Tight coverage. Jermod McCoy on the veteran Justin Watson. And now a flag thrown late. Jermod McCoy was standing over Watson. He flexed, and this is going to be a late personal foul to give the Texans an automatic first down.
Yeah, and I don't like the call. The call was not there. He was not intending to do anything to the receiver. That was not taunting.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike
No, that's not
conduct
taunting.
from the 28 of
No.
the defense.
No.
15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
That's not taunting. Watch the play all the way through. He gets up and just put thumbs down. That's all. He's not even looking at the receiver. His head is down. Look, there's no taunting on that. He just says thumbs down. It was a great play. I know that these officials are in the preseason, but that's one you can let go. He just made a terrific play. The young man hasn't played football in almost 2 seasons. He makes a play on 3rd down, knocks the ball away. You got to be better than that, but I don't like that call.
Well, there has been an emphasis, any of the individuality, the throat slash, anything against it. He's on the Texans sideline too. So instead of getting off the field, it's a fresh set of downs for Mills, who's in the pocket. He climbs, he fires short. It's caught by Bond at the 39. Olubi there to make the stop on the right numbers. 1:02 to go. Texans do have all 3 timeouts. Raiders still have 2. As they are back up on the ball quickly. Houston with a 2nd down and 6 on the Raiders 39. Mills with Whittington to his left. Gets the shotgun. Raiders bring 4. He's in the pocket. He's hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. Behind the tight end, Marlon Klein. Dalton Johnson was on the near sideline in coverage. The ball floated into the secondary, and it'll be 3rd down and 6.
I'm still mad at that call.
A couple of names, I know you are, but a couple of names have stood out here in the first half. Shegu Olubi is flying all over the football.
Yep.
Tristan McCollum as well, and Hezekiah Mass made a couple of really nice plays when they were on the field.
There are some guys who are making some plays. Fatukasi, we said his name already.
Thomas Booker standing out with some plays, but can they get off the field? Can they be consistent? Raiders have 7 lined up across the Texans' offensive line. Will they come with a blitz? Mills gets it. They do come with a blitz. Right up the middle off his back foot. Fires left side. Incomplete. Raiders got through. Olubi was there. So too Jafari Harvey. And now it is 4th down. And will they send out Fairbairn? Yes, they will. They'll send him out to try a 57-yard field goal. He has already hit from 51. And remember, this is a dude who is one of the best in the NFL from 50-plus.
Yeah, that's just a good stop again for the Raiders defense on 3rd down. They survived what could be the penalty on Jermod McCoy, but a good job defensively, guys reading the blitz and on top of their coverage, pass short of the 1st down.
Fairbairn from 57. Kroger puts it down. He swings the right leg into it, heading to the uprights, and that is good. Kaimi Fairbairn, 33 of 41 from 50-plus the last 4 years. Has hit from 51, and he has hit from 57. And the Texans capitalize on the unsportsmanlike against Jermod McCoy to tack on 3, so it is 20-3. And, you know, the other part to that, too, Kirk, you know, from a standpoint of evaluating a football team,
right?
That penalty also takes away the opportunity for about a 75-second drive for Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah, I get that part. So you're a little upset at that part of it, but I'm seeing some individual performances, and we're watching a guy in McCoy make a play that last week he didn't make that play. He didn't finish. Or Hezekiah Mass is on that last play. Nice coverage, had the blitz, and stayed in that hip pocket of his receiver. Nowhere to go for Davis Mills. So some positives I'm taking in this 2nd quarter on both sides, offensively and defensively.
Fernando Mendoza over on the sideline, gets set to come in. He's got a ball in his hand. Talking with Dante Thornton, who was in street clothes tonight. Has been banged up a lot in camp. The 4th-round pick out of Tennessee last year, who had a massive camp last year. Season didn't really live up to that. Unfortunately, he's been injured much of this year's training camp. Fairbairn set to kick it off left to right. Angling towards Roman Henby. He will catch it at the 1, coming out on the left numbers across the 15-20. Heads to the 30, gets behind a block, and a late flag flies in from behind at the 33. So we will see what this flag is with 31 seconds to go. 2 timeouts left for the Raiders. If it is against Las Vegas, the guess there would be that Fernando will take some knees
During
here.
the return, holding number 85 of the receiving team.
Yep.
10-yard penalty if it's foul. 1st down.
So that's on the tight end, the veteran Albert Okwuegbunam. It's the 6th penalty against the Raiders here in this opening half. So they were march the football all the way back to the 15-yard line. So 31 seconds, 2 timeouts. Mendoza got the start tonight. He is 7 of 12 for 77 yards, but they are not in kneel-down formation. He is in the shotgun with Washington to his left, 2 receivers left. Gets the snap. Mendoza's going to throw. Clean pocket. Fires over the middle. It's caught Mike Washington. Makes a move at the 20. Heads upfield. He's just shy of the marker at the 25, and Clint Kubiak takes a timeout. That play took 7 seconds. Elijah Huzzy made the stop. It'll be 2nd down at about a half a yard, but the time here and the distance is what you're looking at. 24 seconds and 1 timeout.
Yeah, 1 timeout left. But a nice job by Fernando. We saw the offs. We saw what the defense was going to present him. Came with the underneath throw to Washington. And so now, with 24 seconds left on the clock, you're going to need a chunk play. And how many yards, if you're trying to get into field goal range, do you need? So you got 1 play that you can still be able to clock it and preserve the timeout, and then maybe 1 more chunk play to get you into field goal range. So I like the strategy here from Clint Kubiak and this type of situation, scenario for Fernando Mendoza.
Been sacked once tonight. A fellow rookie, Caden McDonald. He's backpedaling. He's taking a shot deep down the field. One-on-one coverage, and it's incomplete. Brandon Johnson, the intended receiver, did not get any space between he and the corner, Jalen Smith, right down the middle of the field. And so now it'll be 3rd down and a half a yard. And, you know, because there's only 17 seconds here, right, you're not worried about, you don't get it, you punt it away, you go to the locker room, and it is what it is. Raiders again quickly lined up. They're set to go here. Mendoza out of the gun. He's going to throw again. 3-step drop. Looking over the middle. It's caught by Benson, and he drops the football at the 39. Swatted out of there at the last second by the corner. Tremon Smith, the veteran, got his hands in there.
And not securing the tackle. That's the second time. I'm sorry, it's not securing the catch. That's the second time for Malik Benson that he's trying to run, turn upfield, and get yards before he's able to secure the catch.
Now, the last one, he was dropped it without being touched. This one, good play by Tremon Smith to punch it out of there.
Hold on to the ball. Come on, Jason.
A.J. Cole to punt it away again. Angling it towards the far sideline, and he just drilled it out of bounds. Almost directly at the official with 5 seconds left on the clock. We'll see where they spot it. Looks like about a 52-yarder. Well, the wide receiving group, the wide receiver group, Kirk, has certainly been talked about here in this offseason. The only addition they made through free agency is Jalen Naylor. Gave him a 3-year contract coming over from the Vikings. He's never really been a guy that's had to be a go-to guy because of Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. You have Trey Tucker, who's not playing tonight, but they're trying to find what the receiving core will look like. We saw Jack Best with a couple of nice plays last week, but we don't know what the wide receiver group's going to look like.
And they also bring in Noah Brown this week in free agency. So what does that look like when he's able, after his acclimation back, when he gets out there next week during practice?
Yep. Mills drops to a knee, and that will send us to the locker rooms. The Raiders have a lot to talk about. Last week, the offense had a couple of successful touchdown drives against the Cardinals in the first half. This week, different story. Fernando Mendoza throws a pick six on his opening drive that goes back 80 yards the other direction. And the Raiders offense only able to manage a field goal. At the half, Houston 20, Las Vegas 3. When we return back to Tim Cates in our Silver and Black studios, get you caught up on everything that happened there in the first half. You're listening to Raiders Football. Touchdown, Raiders!
Raiders fans, get more of the great content you crave right now on the Sirius XM app. Just search Las Vegas Raiders on the app and tap the favorite star. You not only hear the game with your hometown announcers, but you'll also get access to the pre- and post-game shows. And come back during the week for extra Raiders content, including coach and player press conferences, special team-specific shows, interviews, and much more. It's all on the Sirius XM app. Download it and search Las Vegas Raiders today.
The stars of the World Cup are back in action in the English Premier League, and all the top matches are on Sirius XM FC.
Erling Haaland, Manchester City take the lead.
The new season kicks off tomorrow at 3 Eastern as newly promoted Coventry City take on defending champions Arsenal.
Declan Rice is there to head it home.
Experience the passion of the world's most exciting league all year long on your 24/7 home for soccer. Sirius XM FC, channel 157 in the car and on the Sirius XM app.
Embrace the power and speed of the NTT IndyCar Series on Sirius XM.
Start your engine.
Feel every thrilling moment of the 2026 IndyCar season.
To the outside, we get to the yard of bricks. Felix Rosenquist gets him at the start-finish line.
For the first time ever, IndyCar will roar through the streets of our nation's capital. It's the Freedom 250 Grand Prix of Washington, D.C. Sunday afternoon at 1 Eastern. Live on IndyCar Nation Channel 218 and the Sirius XM app.
The Sirius XM NFL Radio Training Camp Tour checked in with the Steelers and spoke with QB Aaron Rodgers.
I got to ask you, I don't know how you can walk away from the game. You love this.
I do love it, yeah. I'm also 42. I played 22 years. I played 3 in college. I've never had a fall to myself. I want to start a family with my wife. I was content in walking away. And then they hired Mike McCarthy. And I was like, oh, me and Mike need a full circle here.
Sirius XM NFL Radio Channel 88 and on the Sirius XM app.
Now, rejoining us from the Silver and Black Studios, here's Tim Cates.
Halftime in Houston, the Texans with a 20-3 lead over the Las Vegas Raiders. Tim Cates back inside the Silver and Black Studios with the halftime report. We'll get to the first half numbers for the Raiders and the Texans coming up in just a little bit, as we saw Fernando Mendoza play the entire first half for the Silver and Black. C.J. Stroud got the opening drive for Houston, and Davis Mills took over running the Texans offense. The Raiders just a field goal so far in the first 2 quarters of play. A nice drive led by Fernando Mendoza, stalled out Matt Gay, a 52-yard field goal, the only offense so far for the Silver and Black. Well, this is one of 2 games on this Thursday night for week 2 of the preseason. The other game getting underway in about 30 minutes in Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium. It's the Chargers and the 49ers. Kyle Shanahan says all healthy starters will play tonight, a couple of series. That means Brock Purdy will get to start at quarterback. Christian McCaffrey will not play. He, of course, is bothered by a minor lower body muscle tightness. Jim Harbaugh says his starters on both offense and defense will play a series each. That means Justin Herbert will get the start, as they are looking to find out who will start at center with the injury to Tyler Biadasz.
Starters are going to play a series, and then they're going to come out, getting the game action. The operation will be tremendous to practice. New center, that's huge. Just a real dress rehearsal for game 1.
Tomorrow, 3 games in week 2 of this preseason, including the Jets and the Steelers. No Aaron Rodgers. However, the Steelers got themselves a battle at backup quarterback between the rookie Drew Aller and Will Howard. 10 games on Saturday. Big preseason game in Cleveland with the Browns and the Bills as the quarterback battle continues in Cleveland between Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders. Off the field, the NFL penalizing the Dallas Cowboys and the New Orleans Saints for multiple fights during their Tuesday joint practice. The league said, we warned you, we told you, no shenanigans. And they've each been fined $500,000 for multiple fights. Colts tight end Tyler Warren expected to miss about a week with a minor groin injury suffered in training camp. No worries, though, for week 1. College football getting interesting now that a Louisiana judge issued a temporary restraining order allowing 16 players to return to play one more year of college football. Out of the 16, many of them are in NFL training camps right now, playing in preseason games, making money, but now they have the option, if they don't make an NFL roster, to go back and play one more year of college football. That's a look around the league. Coming up on the halftime report, we'll run down the first half stats and the highlights. Texans out in front of the Raiders at the break, 20-3. I'm Tim Cates. You're listening to the Las Vegas Raiders Radio Network.
Rahan Naqvi with Naqvi Injury Law, here to give you some facts before you pick an injury lawyer. Fact 1. A lot of lawyers say they're the best, but only Naqvi won Best of Las Vegas Gold 11 straight times. Fact 2. Over 1,000 of our cases were referred to us from other lawyers. When other lawyers trust you to handle their cases, you should too. Focus on the facts when picking a lawyer. Call Naqvi at 702-INJURED.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Tim Cates back inside our Silver and Black Studios with the halftime report. The Houston Texans with a 20-3 lead over the Raiders through 2 quarters of play. The Texans opening drive, well, a combination of running back Woody Marks and quarterback C.J. Stroud. Marks a run of 9 yards and a run of 8 yards. Stroud, well, it converts a 3rd and 11. Then Stroud a 10-yard shovel pass to the former Raider tight end Foster Moreau for on 3rd and 4 inside the Raiders territory. After a Raiders penalty for too many men on the field, Texans had 1st and 10 opening drive at the Raiders 20.
Again, an I formation with Stover, the tight end. They hand it off to Marks. Hops right side across the 15. Breaks the tackle 10. Marks to the 5. Out of another tackle. Goal line. Touchdown, Houston.
Woody Marks with a 20-yard touchdown run. 10 plays, 69 yards, just like that. A 7-0 Texans lead. Raiders' first possession. Fernando Mendoza getting the start first play. Incomplete, then a false start. The Raiders playing behind the chains, though. Mendoza, 22 yards to Jalen Naylor. Mike Washington, 33 yards down to the Houston 24. The offense was moving, but then a ball that Fernando wants back.
Mendoza at the Texans 25 with a play fake. Backpedaling, fires over the middle. Intercepted! Wade Woodhouse for the Texans across midfield, far sideline 40. Mendoza giving chase at the 30. Woodhouse to the 10, beats Mendoza. It's a pick six for Houston.
Fernando Mendoza right to Wade Woodhouse, the rookie linebacker out of Clemson, who returns it untouched, 80 yards for the pick six. The Texans a 14-0 lead. Their third possession, Davis Mills in at quarterback. The Raiders hold them to a 51-yard Kamie Fairburn field goal. It was 17-0. Raiders' third possession into the first quarter. 3 straight runs by Mike Washington. Mendoza catch and run to Dylan Lobby for 10 yards. They get past midfield. The Raiders, though, start the second quarter with the ball inside Texans territory. The drive, though, stalled out. A field goal from Matt Gay from 52 yards out was good. It was a 17-3 Texans lead. They tacked on another Kamie Fairburn 57-yard field goal. 20-3 lead at the half. Looking at the first half stats for Fernando Mendoza, 8 of 15 for 86 yards and the interception. Mike Washington, 9 carries, 56 yards. He's also got 2 catches for 18 yards. Ian Thomas, our guest on the pregame show, 3 catches for 19 yards. That's it for the halftime report. Up next, back to Houston for the second half. Texans out in front of the Raiders, 20-3. I'm Tim Cates. You're listening to Raiders football.
Dominant performance this afternoon.
Hey, this is Ryan Priest, driver of the number 60 Ford Mustang for RFK Racing. The NASCAR Cup Series is on Sirius XM. We are back on the track Sunday,
2 p.m. Eastern.
It's the Dollar Tree 301 from New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
And you can listen to all the action on Sirius XM NASCAR Radio, Channel 90 in the car, and on the Sirius XM app.
For up-to-date betting lines, fantasy plays, and the latest NASCAR news, catch the pre-race show before every Cup Series race.
You can't win your fantasy football league in the summer, but you sure can lose it. On Sirius XM Fantasy Sports Radio, we created a winning fantasy football lineup to help you build a championship team.
Hey guys, need your help.
Get the edge you need from Jeff Manns, John Hansen, Jeff Radcliffe, Matthew Berry's Fantasy Life, and the Fantasy Footballers.
I require 2 of my first 4 rounds to be running backs.
Listen live on Channel 87 or prep your draft anytime by searching Draft Season on the Sirius XM app.
SiriusXM NBA Radio is your home all year long for 24/7 coverage of the National Basketball Association.
LeBron dribbling, drives to the paint, puts it up, in, and a foul. Are you kidding me?
We are bringing you exclusive access to the biggest basketball stars in the world.
Talking to the one and only Steph Curry.
I truly believe we can be championship relevant. For me, that's literally the only thing I'm playing for at this point.
Enjoy interactive, live NBA commentary all day long.
No matter how much talent you have, if you don't play as a team, you can't win.
Let those guys in the front office run the team, dude.
And of course, all the nightly rim-rocking, heart-pounding, buzzer-beating, play-by-play action your ears can handle.
Victor for 3. And the foul! Victor Wembanyama!
Basketball is our life. On Sirius XM NBA Radio Channel 86 in the car. And on the Sirius XM app.
The 2026 SiriusXM NFL Radio Training Camp Tour.
Raiders training camp, saying hello to Kirk Cousins.
Clint Kubiak, you've had that relationship with him.
Yeah.
What is it like now seeing him as the head guy?
He's had a real clear process as to what he wants our team to look like, to play like. He's a no-nonsense guy. He's a really high-caliber person. He knows ball, and he knows what it takes to win.
Hear all of our team previews from the NFL Radio Training Camp Tour on the SiriusXM app.
Friday Night SmackDown is on Sirius XM WWE Radio. Hear the hard-hitting action.
Cody is busted wide open. Randy is unglued here. He is snapped. This is just savage, merciless. Oh.
And all the smack talk.
Easy to find, hard to beat.
Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett have the call of SmackDown. Friday nights at 8 Eastern on WWE Radio Channel 156 in the car and on the Sirius XM app.
It's the start of the second half of Raiders football. Now, let's rejoin Jason Horowitz and Kirk Morrison back out at the field.
Get set for the start of the second half, and the Raiders offense will get the ball first. Houston 20, Las Vegas 3. Happy to have you back with us here. Fernando Mendoza played the entire first half, 8 of 15 for 86 yards. The opening drive, though, capped by an 80-yard pick six for the rookie linebacker Wade Woodaz. That was after the Texans offense, their first team offense, went down on the opening drive and put one in the end zone. After that, though, Kirk, the Raiders defense did a nice job getting off the field, forcing Houston into long 50-plus yard field goals. But the offense for the Raiders, too many penalties, too many mistakes across the board.
Yeah, too many penalties. I kind of wrote them down a little bit here. Remember, 12 men on the field early on. They had the false start by Ian Thomas, an illegal touching on the punt. D. Cameron Richardson, what could have been a down at the 4, and it turns into a touchback. The face mask on Laulu on a 3rd and 1. And then you had the taunting call on Jermod McCoy, which to me was not a very good call, and a lot of people agree with me over there in the Twitterverse, so I'm excited about that one. But other than that, you saw some great individual performances from some guys who are trying to make this ball club, Jason.
I'm glad we're going to judge whether we're right or wrong based on if someone agrees with you on Twitter. Fairbairn left to right, kicking it off. Devin Tompkins backpedaling towards the goal line, catches it at the 1, across the numbers right side, 10 to the 15, Tompkins to the 20, hanging in the middle near side, he's got space, Tompkins to the 30, and a flag flies at the 35. He's tracked down on the Texan sideline. He went all the way from right to the left, picked up 34 on the return. Josh Kelly, the wide receiver, on the tackle, as Aiden O'Connell is going to come out here for the third quarter.
During the return, holding, number 41 of the receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
All right, so that is now penalty number 7 on the Raiders. Just 1 accepted penalty on the Texans. Fernando Mendoza's second preseason game is done. 8 of 15 for 86 yards and an interception. Raiders had 141 yards of offense, 3 points in the first half on a Matt Gay 52-yard field goal. Judge Mendoza's second game, Kirk.
Well, I would also throw in a couple of drops there by Malik Benson.
That's
that could have extended drives, right? I think the Benson first drop on 3rd down could have been a touchdown for Fernando Mendoza, but it's all about how he rebounded off the pick six. That's what you saw. Still room for improvement, but I like the way that he rebounded after the mistake early on.
Connell and the pistol. Play fake to Laube across his body, left to right, into the flat. Okuebuna makes the grab across the 15. Brought down by Woodaz at the 16. He picked up a yard. Aiden O'Connell last week, Kirk, not the best late third, early fourth quarter. 4 of 13, 85 yards. He was backed up inside his 5-yard line on one drive as well. And, this is year 4 for Aiden O'Connell. The coaching staff has talked up how he has handled both professionally and from a football standpoint, handling every aspect of this offseason. And this is a guy that started a bunch of games so far in his first 3 years. He's got a 2nd down and 9 coming up on his own 16. Handoff, Dylan Laube has a hole across the 20. Laube to the 25, into the secondary to the 30. He picks up 14 yards. And Dylan Laube's another one of those guys, he's been pretty much a special teams role, and he was very good at that last year. But he has worked exclusively as the 3rd running back on this team much of camp.
But this is what he always does in preseason. I'm never surprised by Dylan Laube. In the preseason, he shows up, and you think that he's going to get opportunities in the regular season. Well, he did get an opportunity last year, made a mistake, and we didn't see him play much more of the running back spot. But he is a gem on special teams, and that's one of the reasons why I think he'll make this 53-man roster.
Second straight handoff, stutters into the hole at the 30, picks up about 4. Nice block. Will Putnam, who's in at the offensive line at this moment. The starting offensive line tonight was the second-team offensive line. Charles Grant, Caleb Rogers. Charles Grant at left guard. Antonio Mafi, at left guard. Grant at left tackle. Meredith at center. Caleb Rogers at right guard. And then Trey Zune at right tackle. And it's similar guys now. Charles Grant still at left tackle, but Jordan Meredith's now at guard with Will Putnam playing center. Mafi at right guard, and then Trey Zune. O'Connell settles into the pocket, deep over the middle for Benson, incomplete at the Texans 45. Thrown into tight coverage, Bryce Hall, the 6th-year veteran corner out of Virginia, there to break it up, and it'll be 3rd down and long coming up for Aiden O'Connell.
And that was different for Aiden O'Connell because Jake Hummel, the linebacker, actually got into the window in which Aiden O'Connell wanted to throw the football. So he had to wait until Benson showed up in the window he wanted to throw it in. Sometimes it's just by alignment. A linebacker can affect the play, and that's why that ball was thrown behind Benson instead of in front of him, which could have been tipped or even intercepted.
Been a rough night for Malik Benson. One catch for 18 yards. O'Connell in an empty set on third down. Clean pocket. Taking a shot. Deep down the field. Looking for Benson in tight coverage. He's turning around, and he can't find it. At the Texans' 20-yard line. Didn't get any space from the 6'1" Bryce Hall. If he throws that inside, maybe Benson can run under it. He throws it over his outside shoulder, and it'll be fourth down.
Well, I think if he throws it inside, it gives Malik Benson an opportunity to go run and get underneath it. With that ball being thrown to the outside, he almost had to, reverse turn, and go back to the football. Let him run to it. Get him out there. I think it could have been more toward the post rather than to the flag.
3 punts for A.J. Cole tonight. He's averaged about 49 yards a boot. He is standing on his own 20 to our right side. Gets it. Right leg into it. A spiral right to the punt returner Saunders. Flags fly, and he is brought down immediately. Fantastic coverage by Chase Roberts, the gunner, undrafted free agent out of BYU. 51 on the punt, 3 on the return. Flags flew immediately as Chase Roberts got down there.
I see an official with a hat off, so we know what that means.
Usually illegal touching. But the Raiders did not touch that football, though.
Yeah, or a guy goes out of bounds and didn't come back in immediately. So
there is an injured Raider down at the Texans 41, right in the middle of the field. That is Chigozie Anusium. And the training staff is out looking at his left leg. And he is writhing in pain at the Texans 41-yard line, right between the hash marks.
During the kick, there were 2 fouls. Holding, number 25 of the receiving team. That penalty is declined. Holding, number 85 of the receiving team. That penalty will be enforced half the distance to the goal from the end of the kick. First down. Time.
All right, so they'll take a timeout. The Texans will be backed up inside their 20, but the training staff is out to look at Chigozie Anusium. And we will step aside with 12:44 to go in the third quarter. Raiders trailing the Texans here in the preseason 20-3. You're listening to Raiders football.
The SiriusXM NFL Radio Training Camp Tour checked in with the Packers and spoke with QB Jordan Love.
When you go back and look at last year, and you look at a couple areas of your game where you feel you can be better.
Situational awareness. In the half, in the game. We had the Broncos game, the 2 Bears games there at the end. We just couldn't finish good enough, and that's something that we've harped on all offseason is finding ways to finish. We got to be able to go put teams away, and if we're down, we got to find ways to crawl back into the game.
SiriusXM NFL Radio Channel 88 and on the SiriusXM app.
College football never fails to deliver.
The countdown to college football season is on SiriusXM College Sports Radio. It's nonstop talk about your favorite school.
Guaranteed this season, something will happen you've never seen before.
And our experts break down the contenders for the college football playoff.
I am all in on Oregon. Championship caliber defense.
It's all on College Sports Radio, Channel 84 in the car, and on the SiriusXM app.
My goodness!
A dominant performance this afternoon.
Hey, this is Ryan Priest, driver of the number 60 Ford Mustang for RFK Racing. The NASCAR Cup Series is on SiriusXM. We are back on the track Sunday,
2 p.m. Eastern.
It's the Dollar Tree 301 from New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
and you can listen to all the action on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio, Channel 90 in the car, and on the SiriusXM app.
For up-to-date betting lines, fantasy plays, and the latest NASCAR news, catch the pre-race show before every Cup Series race.
Getting you ready for the NFL season on the 2026 Training Camp Tour.
Miami Dolphins starting QB Malik Willis.
What was the defining moment that made you want to sign to Miami?
Just the belief those guys had in me. I had been around them, so I could trust what they were saying. I seen them talk to guys, and I seen them operate in a type of way that I could respect. That's how you can go out there and just let it rip and have fun and execute and just take it on. I feel like they had that.
SiriusXM NFL Radio Channel 88 and on the SiriusXM app.
We are getting a visual of what is always a reminder anytime you play football, but certainly in the preseason, players doing everything they can to try and make a team. And injuries that happen right in the middle of the field, and the entire Raiders 90-man roster with all of the staff, the training staff, in a U-shape surrounding Chigozie Anusium, who is Hopping onto the cart, the team has the air cast pumped up around his left leg. He is now onto the cart and has his entire Raiders organization surrounding him as he will be wheeled back into the locker room and presumably to a local hospital to get further tests done. Anusium, 25-year-old out of Colorado State, undrafted free agent 2024. He signed to the Raiders in December to the active roster last year, played 3 games on special teams. Get some last pats from some of his teammates. And there goes the cart to the end zone to our left with Anusium, a towel over his head, held down.
You always hate to see that, Jason. You see guys know they're in a training camp battle, trying to make this roster, and looks to be one of those situations where you kind of know maybe a severe injury.
So play resumes for the Texans on their own 8-yard line. A handoff up the middle, not a whole lot of room. It was Fodukasi again working. He got first touch on Owen Wright, who scoots his way out to the 9-yard line. Brett Rippon now in the game at quarterback. 30-year-old out of Boise State in his 7th year. Undrafted free agent in 2019. Was on the Broncos for 4 years, but after that, Kirk, this is his 8th roster in the last 3 seasons. And again, only signed 5 days ago because Graham Mertz, the 3rd-string quarterback for Houston, tore his ACL in the 2nd quarter last week.
Yeah, absolutely. And I go back to when he was actually a Los Angeles Ram for a little bit before, remember, Baker Mayfield came in and obviously changed some things around there.
Set to pass, fires over the middle. That didn't look like a guy who got here 4 days ago. Floats it right down the middle to Daniel Sobkowitz at the 30-yard line. They pick up 22, and it's a first down for Houston.
Yeah, that's one of those plays where that's why he's brought in. He's a veteran guy. You give him about, I'll tell you this, he's not going to learn the whole playbook in 4 days, but he's probably got a group of about 20 plays that he's had to learn and study, and that's maybe one of those plays, hey, what do you like on here? And that was a nice little bang 8 that he was able to connect for a first down.
Under center, you've got Owen Wright, again, the tailback, 3rd year out of Monmouth. He gets the handoff, not much on the right side. And some late pushing and shoving coming in. Lane Pryor, a tight end.
I like Tristan McCollum. He is a player. He is a football player. He just likes to throw his body around. He came in last year to this football team and really helped out on special teams. And he's also showing that I'm not just a special teams guy. I'm a guy that can give you some good defensive snaps if needed. And you find roles for those types of guys. Number 27 with the white jersey on, having a nice little game.
Made for the Eagles. Claimed off waivers last year. To throw, Rippon. It's over the head, left side on the out route to Sobkowitz. Hezekiah Massis with tight coverage, and it'll be 3rd down.
Yeah, sticky coverage from Massis. He's right there, but he's right there to be able to make a play on the football. That's what I love about Massis. He's shown the ability. He's smooth out of his break. And if that ball would have been a little more on the receiver, it looked like he had an opportunity to go knock the ball away, even though it sailed over the head of the receiver.
Cody Lindenberg's got the green dot with this 2nd team unit. Calling the plays for this defense. He's pointing it out with his right hand as Rippon is in the shotgun with Wright to his right. On a 3rd down and 9. Houston on their own 32-yard line. Rippon back to throw. He rips it down the middle, over the head to the outstretched arms of Josh Kelly at the Raiders 45. And the defense going to get off the field. Couple of balls that Rippon sailed down the middle, and it'll be a 4th down punt coming up for Kai Kroger.
Now you've seen a little bit of confidence there by these defensive backs. That time the rookie Hezekiah Massis actually stepped in front of it. He was trying to pick that off. He saw an opportunity to get an interception, and he jumped in front of that one. And the ball just went over his hands and still off the receiver's hands as well.
Seen a lot of Devin Tompkins here in the preseason as the returner, and he's back deep to receive the left-footed punt from Kroger, and he's got space at the 15. Starting right, gets a block at the 20. He's pointing with his left hand and another. Down the sideline 30. Tompkins hops out of bounds at the 39. And a late flag flies in. Roman Henry was all by himself.
No way.
And if it's against the Raiders, it's going to negate a 25-yard return.
Oh, immediately you see the Raiders sideline and the special teams units. It was a block that looked like it was on the side by Roman Henry.
During the return, illegal block in the back, number 37 of the receiving team. 10-yard penalty for the spotted foul. First down, Las Vegas. Timeout.
All right, so
that was a close one, man. Hemby's right there in front of him. I'm watching the replay right here. You can see Hemby. Does he get him on the side? Yeah, he didn't get fully all the way in front of him. He kind of armbarred his way through it.
And Casey Osai, based on where he stood, couldn't see him either. So you get the flag, and the Raiders backed up some more. We'll step aside. You're listening to the Las Vegas Raiders Radio Network.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric, and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Raiders football is brought to you by Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority, presented by fabulous Las Vegas, the ultimate destination for sports and entertainment. By Ticketmaster, the official marketplace of the Las Vegas Raiders and the NFL. By Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of the Las Vegas Raiders. By Yamava Resort and Casino at San Manuel. You in? Must be 21 or over to enter. Please gamble responsibly.
Hey, Raiders fans, Jason Horowitz again, reminding you that halftime is a great time to learn more about Raiders-themed slot machines developed by Aristocrat, from the same team that created Buffalo! Come to slot games where you can pick your team, play your team, and put a whole new spin on just win, baby. Check out the Raiders-themed slot machines developed by Aristocrat, a proud sponsor of the Las Vegas Raiders. Gambling problem? Please contact the U.S. National Problem Gambling Helpline, 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-GAMBLER for 21 and over.
Hey, did you see that game last weekend? It was crazy.
Actually, we were there.
Wait, like in person? How'd you swing that?
Allegiant had a super affordable nonstop flight out there. And with how low the airfare was, buying tickets to the game was a no-brainer.
Hold my beer. I'm going to Allegiant.com right now.
Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. Nonstop flights from Las Vegas to Santa Maria, one way for as low as $44. Must be purchased by 9/13/2026 for travel between 8/20/2026 and 2/7/2027. Seats and dates are limited. Restrictions apply. See Allegiant.com for details.
Raiders football brought to you by Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Las Vegas Raiders and the NFL. We will not see you during the regular season here in Houston. We will see you, however, in Arizona and San Francisco, the other two preseason games for the Silver and Black. After the penalty against Roman Hemby, the Raiders and Aiden O'Connell backed up on their own 14, working right to left. Down 20-3 here in the third quarter. O'Connell stands up, changes the play, now back under center, turns, fakes the handoff, back to throw, clean pocket, dumps it right side. Laube can't grab it at the 15. Tried to get the left hand up to bring it in, could not in front of Marte Mapu, former New England Patriot. That'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, it looked kind of weird.
That's an interesting way to describe it.
No, it just his footing. Never thought he had good footing. Right, it was a play fake, and yet he didn't really necessarily extend the ball. The ball stayed kind of close to the chest. Never really thought his footing was there, and that ball sailed on the outside trying to get it to Laube.
Receivers to the left, Brandon Johnson and Devin Tompkins. Shotgun to Aiden O'Connell, into Laube at the 15, lowers the shoulder at the 19, into the secondary. And he's brought down by the linebacker Jake Hummel. And so it'll be 3rd down and about 5 here, and the Raiders have not been good tonight on 3rd down. 1 of 6. Now, one of those was a Malik Benson drop. It would have put him in scoring position. Here it is, 3rd down and 5 coming up on their own 19-yard line. And the Aiden O'Connell situation is an interesting one, right? Do the Raiders keep 3 quarterbacks? Does another team lose a backup or a starter and need to trade for a quarterback? All those questions are still out there for this front office. 3rd down, O'Connell back to throw. Texans bring 5, sidesteps to the left, fires out to Tompkins, caught it at the 23. He did not have momentum, and he was drilled immediately by Brandon Codrington. 3rd year out of North Carolina Central. He's about a yard shy of the marker. Tompkins did not run that to the sticks, and the Raiders are going to punt it away.
Yeah, he didn't run it to the sticks, but also Aiden O'Connell had to get rid of that football pretty quickly because the rush was right there in his face. Charles Grant did a good job initially, but the rush got to Aiden O'Connell. He had to get rid of that football. Tompkins just a little short on that route. didn't have enough time to turn it up and get an extra yard.
So Cole will punt it away for the 5th time tonight. Gets the right leg into it. Drives a line drive that spirals. Caught at the 31 on the run. Angling to the right side. And it is out for Jaquan Jackson. All the way out to about the 40-yard line. We will step aside here on Raiders football. Houston 20. Las Vegas 3. You're listening to Raiders Radio Network.
Raiders football is brought to you by Allegiant, the official airline of the Raiders. Low fares, nonstop flights, only at Allegiant.com. America First Credit Union, the official credit union of the Las Vegas Raiders. By Modelo, a reward for those with a fighting spirit. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. Drink responsibly. Imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois. By Cox, powered by Cox, proud partner of the Las Vegas Raiders.
At Cox, your internet and mobile price won't change for 5 years. That's 5 New Year's celebrations, 5 Valentine's Days, 5 4th of Julys, 5 Halloweens, 5 Thanksgivings, and 5 summers that go by too fast. Through it all, your price stays the same with our 5-year price lock guarantee. Cox, a step ahead. Requires 2 gig speeds and gig unlimited mobile. Taxes and fees excluded from price lock. Mobile data speed used after 20 gigs.
Whether you're courtside or poolside, in a box suite or penthouse suite, on the sideline or a zip line, there's no better place than Vegas to be part of the action. In the arena and out on the town. The loudest cheers, the brightest lights, and the sweetest celebrations. Wherever your night takes you, welcome to Las Vegas. Plan your trip today at visitlasvegas.com.
Tim Kane's back inside our Silver and Black studios with a scoreboard update brought to you by Aroma Retail, Vegas resort scents for your home and business. Set your space at aromaretail.com. One other game on this Thursday night. It is the 49ers and the Chargers getting ready to kick things off at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. Both starting quarterbacks expected to play about a series each. Off the field, the Cowboys and Saints have each been fined $500,000 for fighting during a joint practice on Tuesday. College football SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey says he cannot have professional athletes' contracts coming back to play college sports despite having one more year of eligibility. Kirk Morrison's got one more year of eligibility at San Diego State. Let's go back out to Houston. Kirk, Jason, guys.
Yes, 3-4 with the 5-2. And
no, I exhausted all of my eligibility. You won't see me back on that field. I can't give you nothing anyway.
No, Kirk has consistently told me that running a 40-yard dash is not in his repertoire and that I could beat him. Although after all the candy that the Texans have up here in the press box, I don't know that that's true anymore. Brett Rippon and the Houston Texans up 20-3, have the ball on their own 40 and a shotgun. Raiders bring 5. They hold the protection. He throws an outright right side. It's caught by Lane Pryor. Backup tight end at the 43. They pick up 3, and with that, we pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to
Interact with our stable of former players, coaches, and executives all day long on SiriusXM NFL Radio Channel 88 and the SiriusXM app.
I mean, I literally have a cup of M&M's sitting in front of me up here in Houston.
Leave them alone.
Listen, I don't want to. They're so yummy. They have ice cream that comes out of a can here.
It's self-serve, literally.
Hand off to Whittington, right into the pile. And he is brought backwards by Brandon Cleveland, the 7th-round draft pick out of NC State.
All you got to do is say Johnson on the stop by the Raiders, and you've got a good chance. Good chance, right?
Yeah.
Good chance of one of the Johnsons making a play. They were all on defense for the most part, but that time the rookie safety Dalton Johnson with a nice job of filling the hole.
Yeah, Patrick is splashed. Dalton is playing safety with Tristan McCollum. To Camryon Richardson playing corner right now with Devin Perkins, who's on the right side. Back to throw on 3rd down from Rippon. Pressure off the edge. The ball is loose, and it's picked up by the Raiders. Gary Smith III fell on top of it, and it was Johnson who knocked it out.
Yep.
Patrick Johnson, who forced the fumble on the rush off the edge.
Ready to run the hoop, Patrick Johnson. He runs the hoop, the hula hoop. You see the drill in practice every single day, and that time he did a nice job of running to the outside, but not just finishing on the quarterback, finish on the football, create takeaways. Patrick Johnson, well done, and a nice little turnover for the defense.
Well, we've been asking for that, to see some type of play from the defense. Patrick Johnson, he is making the most of his opportunity. Remember, he was just signed at the start of camp. Sacked last week and now a forced fumble this week, and the Raiders take over on the Houston 39-yard line. First turnover forced for the Raiders here in the preseason. The officials are going to adjust the game clock here. They're adding 4 seconds. And everything counts here in the preseason.
Yeah, I think you've called all the interviews today, by the way. The ESPN broadcast has. You've already said it. You said they're going to go after C.J. Stroud. They've had Max Crosby.
Yeah.
They just interviewed Will Anderson.
Yeah.
Were you in their ESPN meetings or something?
No, I mean, it's not very difficult to figure out who they think the stars are, their offense and the defense. Just saying. Cedric Jackson split out wide right for Aiden O'Connell, who's under center, following the forced fumble over the middle. It's high, and it's almost picked off. He was looking for the intended receiver, Derek Young, who had his left arm out over the middle, and it was dangerously thrown into the arms of Jalen Reed.
And you talked about the conversation of, do the Raiders keep 3 quarterbacks or do they keep 2? Well, you've got to see something from Aiden O'Connell, right?
Yep.
And right now, we haven't seen the best of Aiden O'Connell. Last week in preseason, this week, that's a high throw over the middle of the field. Tips and overthrows. It could have been an interception. Haven't seen great ball location or placement from Aiden O'Connell.
More on that in 1 second. 2nd and 10. Quick drop right side. Hits Tompkins in stride at the 35. And he's tracked out of bounds by Brandon Codrington on the Raiders sideline. He picked up 5. And to that point, Aiden's first 3 years in the league, he was the backup. Right, and he was getting number 2 reps. And 2 years ago with Gardner Minshew, they were in a battle to be the starter. He was getting equal reps. But this year, they draft Fernando Mendoza. They go out and get Kirk Cousins. He's not getting anywhere near the same reps in practice as Seattle. And remember, last year, missed most of the season with a broken wrist.
And I believe in his first 3 years in the league now, if I counted right, 7 different play calls.
With interim play callers, yes. Clint Kubiak is his 7th different play caller.
So you talk about a guy who's had to learn multiple offenses in a short NFL career so far.
He's got Dylan Lowby to his right. Raiders 1 of 7 on 3rd down. He settles into the pocket, fires late over the middle. Cedric Jackson can't hang on, and a late flag in the secondary at the 20-yard line. Maybe some early contact at the 20. It's going to be pass interference against the Texans.
Pass interference, number 41 defense. Spot foul, automatic first down.
That is Stephen Hall, the rookie out of Missouri, and it will give the Raiders their 9th first down of the day. And we remind you that American First Credit Union's first down for the hometown, where American First donates $100 to a local charity for every Raiders first down when we're inside Allegiant Stadium this season. Well, you'll take them however you can get them.
Yep.
Aiden O'Connell tonight so far 3 of 7 for 10 yards. He is under center, tight end to each side, and Dylan Lowby the lone setback. Snap, takes the handoff, heads the reverse. He's got Tompkins angling to the left side, waiting for a blocker at the 20. And he got Okwuegbunam out in front of him. Picked up about 5 down to the 18-yard line.
Yeah, a little razzle-dazzle there. They show the run to the outside, but they flick the ball behind him to Tompkins. You mentioned Okwuegbunam leading the way. It kind of looks like a play that we may see with Trey Tucker down the road at some point. Just getting one of your playmakers the football in space. And that was just a nice job by Tompkins. Almost turned it into almost like a punt return for the most part.
Will be the high back with Connor Hayward in at fullback, offset to the right. Jackson motions right to left. The handoff to Lobby, off right guard, and he spun around from behind and dropped. Keontae Hamilton broke through, no gain. It'll be 3rd down here in the red zone. Houston 20, Raiders 3. 6-10 and counting here in the 3rd quarter in the preseason.
So you're already in field goal range if you're the Raiders. And this is where you want to see Aiden O'Connell operate down here inside the red zone. The Raiders don't have necessarily a big play wide receiver in terms of a jumper or a guy who can outstretch. So see Aiden O'Connell here with 2 guys in the backfield with the protection. See if he can find the open guy.
He's got Hayward to his left. He's got Lowby to his right. Lowby goes out for a route. He gets it thrown on a slant, caught it at the 10, makes a move. Lowby to the 5, and a first down for the Raiders, down to the 4. in the backfield, ran the route over the middle, and they pick up 14 and a first down.
Yeah, Dylan Lowry ran what they call a Texas route. If you ever look at the state of Texas, the way it's shaped, there's an angle on the right side of it, and that's a nice job by Troy Aikman drawing it up on the screen. It's just an out, and he comes right in the middle of the field. A linebacker does not take him, and he's able to make the catch and then turn the run after the catch and to set up the Raiders on 1st and goal inside the 5.
See if they can pay this off. Connor Hayward is the split-out wide receiver to the left side. 2 tight ends to the right. Laube, the lone tailback. O'Connell turns, hands it off to Laube, bounces it to the outside at the 5, angling to the goal line. Touchdown, Raiders! Dylan Laube started up the middle, angled out to the right, does his shimmy in the end zone. And the Raiders cap it off. A fumble recovery for the defense, and Laube for 6.
That's how you ride the wave. You ride the wave, get on the surfboard, and you allow the offensive line to get the push, and Dylan Laube with the vision. And it wasn't there initially, but rode the wave all the way to the outside and almost goes in untouched for the touchdown.
Yeah, he is also trying to earn a spot on this roster and looked very good so far here in the second half.
Just ride the wave, and he actually just barely goes in untouched.
Tyler Dusansky, the long snapper here in the second half. Kansei Matsuzawa on for the extra point. High snap, Cole puts it down, and Matsuzawa sails it through the uprights for the Tokyo Toe, and that PAT brought to you by Credit One Bank. Credit One Bank, the official credit card of the Las Vegas Raiders. 6 plays, 39 yards, and the Raiders are in the end zone. Houston 20, Las Vegas 10, 4:57 to go in the third. You're listening to the Las Vegas Raiders Radio Network.
Hey, did you see that game last weekend? It was crazy.
Actually, we were there.
Wait, like in person? How'd you swing that?
Allegiant had a super affordable nonstop flight out there. And with how low the airfare was, buying tickets to the game was a no-brainer.
Hold my beer. I'm going to Allegiant.com right now.
Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. Non-stop flights from Las Vegas to Santa Maria, one way for as low as $44. Must be purchased by 9/13/2026 for travel between 8/20/2026 and 2/7/2027. Seats and dates and limited restrictions apply. See Allegiant.com for details.
Introducing the official debit card of the Las Vegas Raiders from America First Credit Union. It's a powerhouse Visa debit card, packed with features, packed with benefits, and packed with silver and black. The Raiders debit card from America First is the perfect way to pay and the perfect way to represent Raider Nation wherever you go. Get yours today, exclusively at America First Credit Union and americafirst.com/Raiders. Federally insured by NCUA Equal Opportunity Lender.
A cool and crisp Modelo tastes good. But you know what tastes even better? That survived the evening rush Modelo. That post-12-hour shift Modelo. That fought for every rebound Modelo. That just clocked out on a Friday Modelo. That Modelo you earned is just better. That Modelo is the mark of a fighter. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
Later in the broadcast, we'll announce the player of the game, brought to you by Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of the Las Vegas Raiders. Dylan Laube making a second-half push with a 4-yard touchdown run. Patrick Johnson has a sack and a forced fumble. Thomas Booker has a sack and a tackle for loss. Houston 20, Las Vegas 10. Kansei Matsuzawa set to kick it off here for the Raiders from his own 35-yard line. The 27-year-old rookie from Japan. If he were to make a 53-man roster, it would be the first ever Japanese-born player to make an NFL 53-man roster. There have been some on practice squads. There have been some in training camp, but none have ever been on an active 53-man roster. He was the Luke Rosso Award winner last year as the best kicker in college football playing at Hawaii. And he just learned to kick 7 years ago. His kickoff is a line drive angling towards the right side, caught on a run at the 5 by Saunders across the 25, and he's tripped up at the 29-yard line. Dare Ogunbowale, the former Texan, down there to make the stop after a 27-yard return. I mean, the Matsuzawa story is such a fascinating one, Kirk. Born in Japan, came to the United States, saw a Raiders game, his first ever action in the NFL. Loved it so much, went back to Japan, watched YouTube videos on learning how to kick footballs. Went to a junior college in Ohio, Hocking College, and before going to Hawaii for 3 seasons where he became the best kicker in college football.
Yeah, unreal. It's one of those Disney movie type stories, and he's still trying to live that dream out right now.
Brett Rippon on the rollout to the right side, hits Josh Kelly for a pickup of 7 on the Texans bench.
You know, I'm sticking with that. Just think about what happened last week. You know, he had an opportunity to kick a field goal and, you know, didn't make the field goal. It was a chip shot field goal, and then
a kickoff, they missed the landing zone.
You're right. The kickoff to start the second half last week, and then all of a sudden today he makes his first extra point. So you're seeing the growth among some of these young players, and that's all we really wanted to see in today's preseason game number 2.
Raiders defense after the opening Texans drive, really after the first couple of drives, they played a lot better. They're making some plays. They're getting in the backfield. Brett Rippon under center on 2nd and 3, handing off and tracked from behind. Kean Sloan. Man, does he have burst coming off the edge, and he got into the backfield to drop Noah Whittington for no gain.
And that's what he's known to do. Watching him at NC State, he's a guy that plays the outside in. He knows how to feather. When I say feather the quarterback, meaning that he knows when to see when that ball is handed off and go attack it. And if the quarterback keeps it, he has the ability to go track down a quarterback on the play-action bootleg. So Kean is very keen on how to get to the football.
Empty set for Rippon. 2 receivers each direction. Ball for the Texans on the left hash on their own 38-yard line. Rippon gets a shotgun snap. He caught it with one hand. Now pressure off the edge. And he's drilled from behind. And the ball's on the turf again. It's still loose at the 27-yard line. And the Texans do pounce on top of it. But Jafari Harvey, coming from the left tackle side, came in to drop him for a 10-yard loss.
Oh, what a job by Jafari Harvey. Just a second-year player. Didn't play much last year. Undrafted free agent a year ago. But a nice job running the outside hump on James Neal, who's the second offensive tackle. They tried to go and cut. They cut Sloan on the opposite side. Harvey was cut, but he refused to be blocked. Gets up and tracks down Ripken and forces the fumble.
And Sloan was almost on top of it. Remember, the last Texans drive was a strip sack where the Raiders did recover it. So Kroger, a high spiral lefty boot. Tompkins shuffles under it at the 20. A flag flies immediately as he touches the football, and he's brought down on his own 28-yard line, but this is going to come back.
That's too many penalties on special teams today, by the way.
Yeah.
Too many penalties.
Well, the Raiders have been flagged for 8 for 73 yards. Assuming this is on Las Vegas, could be number 9. Yeah, the initial signal here is holding.
During the kick, holding, number 4 of the receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down, Las Vegas.
Shedrick Jackson on the holding. Four penalties on Raiders special teams. And remember, special teams is where all these guys are trying to make the roster. I will say this on the positive. I think last week we came away with the defensive line, Kirk, feeling like, oh, man, there's a lot of work to do.
Correct.
Today, it has felt like the defensive line against the Texans' second-team offensive unit has really played well after that first or second drive.
Well, I think as a whole, the defense has played well, especially to start that second quarter, honestly. They're making some plays on the football, and in the second half, they're actually making plays on the quarterback.
O'Connell, 5-step drop, looks left, fires that way. It's caught. Philip Dorsett out across the 20, inside the numbers on the left. He picks up 11, and it's a first down. And Dare Agumbawale is in the backfield, so we have seen Dylan Laube. We have seen some good things tonight from Mike Washington. Had a 33-yard run, 9 for 56. And now a chance to see Dare Agumbawale, who the Raiders signed on August 6th, just 2 weeks ago. He's in his 8th year out of Wisconsin, a former walk-on for the Badgers, been around the NFL. Mostly he's been a special teams guy as well. He gets the handoff, trying the middle, cannot make the first man miss, the linebacker who broke through. He is pushed back immediately by Aiden Fisher. And, you know, we spent so much time, obviously, in the offseason talking about Fernando Mendoza and the offense, first ever Heisman Trophy winner for Indiana.
Right.
Aiden Fisher's the first ever linebacker for the Hoosiers to earn All-American honors, and he did it twice. And he came with Kurt Zignetti from James Madison, as a lot of some of their best players did, and was so integral on their defensive side to get to that 16-0 record and win the national championship.
Yeah, almost 100 tackles. He had 2 interceptions last year and was you mentioned 2-time All-American. A lot of those Hoosiers making some plays.
O'Connell to the throw, reads his progressions just in front of Philip Dorsett, incomplete at the 35. O'Connell trying to fire that behind Aiden Fisher, and it'll be 3rd down and 10 on their own 20-yard line.
I've been really impressed with the linebackers for the Houston Texans. I shouldn't be surprised. Their head coach was one of the best linebackers I saw, young players, and D'Amico Ryans during my playing days as well. But they get so much depth in their drop that it forces the quarterback to have to hold the football an extra beat to get to the window they want to throw it in.
Raiders tonight 2 of 8 on 3rd down. This is 3rd and 10. Texans showing blitz. O'Connell has got Ogunbowale to his left, 4 on the play clock. He's talking to his receiver out to the right. He gets the snap. Texans do come with a blitz. Ogunbowale picked it up, trying to find Dorsett, and he threw it too far in front of him. Heading towards the Raiders bench at the 45-yard line on a 45-degree angle. And the Raiders will have to punt it away with a minute to go in the 3rd quarter.
But I still feel that's a completion that Aiden O'Connell has got to make. Everything was there. You had perfect protection. Daria Ogunbowale picked up the blitz. You've got a wide open Philip Dorsett right near the sideline, and you would love to see him complete that pass, especially in that scenario with everything that they did on the checklist, and now they're forced to punt.
6th punt of the night for A.J. Cole. Spirals one, angling towards the Raiders sideline, far side of the field. It is caught at the 21-yard line on the run, and he is drilled at the 30. Solid coverage by Chase Roberts. 58 on the punt, 8 on the return. Well, the night began Fernando Mendoza, 8 of 15. The big mistake was a late throw over the middle, trying to check it down to Mike Washington that goes 80 yards and a touchdown the other direction. But again, the starting offensive line was not playing. Ashton Genty, Brock Bowers not playing. Trey Tucker not playing. So that was a quick 14-0 6 minutes into this ball game. But since then, the Raiders defense has held the Texans to a pair of 50-plus yard field goals. Brett Rippon, 5 days after signing with the team, is 3 of 5. He's been sacked twice. He hands it off to Owen Wright, who hops into the hole, into the awaiting arms of the rookie Gary Smith, who gently tosses them to the turf after a pickup of 3 on the left hash mark.
Seeing Keyron Crawford get some opportunities here late in this football game. He's a guy that they're going to have to count on, I think, to give Max Crosby or Malcolm Kuntz, Kwity Paye, the outside rushers for the Raiders. He's going to be, I think, a run specialist defender to start his career. Just go in the game and really be physical and stop the run.
Rippon tosses the screen, left side. It's caught by Wright, and he's tracked down. Xavier Sori, linebacker at the 36-yard line. Sori, who played 3 years for Georgia, last 2 years at Arkansas. It'll be 3rd down and about 5. That is, though, the final play of the 3rd quarter. Houston 20, Raiders 10. We head to the 4th. Coming up on the other side here in preseason week number 2.
This is the end of the 3rd quarter.
Thank you, Alan Eck. You're listening to the Las Vegas Raiders Radio Network.
Ever see people move an umbrella at a tailgate to cover the beer coolers? Or fill their only sink in a hotel room with ice? It's actually kind of crazy the lengths people will go to make sure their beer is ice cold. But no matter what people do, one thing is pretty clear. Because it's not a beer unless it's a cold beer. That's why the Coors Light Mountains turn blue. To tell you when your beer is as cold as the Rockies. Celebrate responsibly. 2026 Coors Brewing Company. Golden, Colorado. Beer.
Karma Automotive proudly serves as the official luxury electric vehicle of the Las Vegas Raiders. As America's first and only ultra-luxury automaker, from our Cavea 1,000 horsepower Super Coupe to the Rivero, the extended range sedan, Karma blends supernatural innovation with American ingenuity. We are shaping the future of automotive aspiration. For assigned drivers only. Reserve your Karma at karmaautomotive.com.
When it comes to hospitality, entertainment, and gaming, one name stands above the rest. Yamava Resort and Casino at San Manuel. Its excellence is recognized by national awards, including a Best Casino Outside of Las Vegas title from Newsweek in 2025, and 3 times USA Today's Reader's Choice honors. Plus, it's the only casino hotel with a prestigious AAA 5-diamond rating, over 7,500 slots, A-list entertainment, world-class hospitality. Discover why Yamava is California's #1 entertainment destination. Details at yamava.com. Must be 21 to enter. Please gamble responsibly.
Cox, your internet and mobile price won't change for 5 years. That's 5 New Year celebrations. 5 Valentine's Days, 5 4th of Julys, 5 Halloweens, 5 Thanksgivings, and 5 summers that go by too fast. Through it all, your price stays the same with our 5-year price lock guarantee. Cox, a step ahead. Requires 2 gig speeds and gig unlimited mobile. Taxes and fees excluded from price lock. Mobile data speeds reduced after 20 gigs.
Intermountain Health understands that life can be a challenging game, and mental wellness is vital to our overall health. Takes courage to admit when we're not okay, even more to reach out. If you or someone you know is struggling or in crisis, call or text 988 or visit strongestplay.com for mental wellness resources. Jason Horwitz, Kirk Morrison, happy to have you back with us. Start of the fourth quarter here in Houston. Texans 20, Raiders 10. Raiders, though, have held Houston to 188 yards of offense, and 69 of that was on the opening drive. So they have played much better here this week than they did last week. Brett Rippon on a 3rd and 4, back to throw, fires right side. It's caught low. Nobody touches him down. Now they do. And because they didn't touch him down early, Jaquan Jackson did not get the first down. Devin Lafayette did not touch him. Jackson settled, looked like he was going to get up at the 39. He might have had the first down if he touched him initially, but because he didn't, it's now 4th and 1.
Yeah, I think he was going to be short, though, Jason. And he tagged him, like you mentioned, short of the first down marker, and that forces a punt. Nice job by Lafayette, but this isn't college football anymore, son. You got to touch him down. In college football, they would have blew the whistle. NFL, you got to put a hand on him, and that signifies that he's down.
Texans late to get on the punter, Kai Kroger, on a 4th and 1. They do get him on. They do punt it away. Devin Tompkins waiting for it. He's stalking the 15-yard line. Lets it go over his head at the 8, and it checks up. It's a Houston bounce, and it's stopped by Codrington down at the 6-yard line. So 54 on the punt. And the Raiders will take over for Aiden O'Connell. And, you know, back to that conversation, you've said it a couple times tonight, Aiden's got to make some of these throws.
Yeah, I agree.
You know,
for sure.
Again, last year, final preseason game of the year, breaks his throwing wrist. Geno Smith was going to be the starter anyway, but you never knew how the season was going to go. Was only active for the final game because, remember, the Raiders traded a 5th-round pick to get Kenny Pickett, who's now back with the Carolina Panthers. And then, obviously, this year, you draft Fernando Mendoza, you sign Kirk Cousins. Yeah, but Aiden O'Connell, whether he's playing for a job here in Las Vegas or playing for a job elsewhere, I mean, these are important snaps that he's getting here in the preseason. Roman Hemby in the backfield, gets his first handoff of the night, bursts through the middle, picks up about 3, out to the 9-yard line. New offensive line on the field for the first time tonight for the Raiders. Isaiah Jada in at left tackle, the rookie out of BYU, 6'5", 293. Also spent some time at Colorado. Braden Daniels, who the Raiders signed a week and a half ago, was last with the Dolphins. He's in at left guard. Will Putnam still in at center. We'll get the rest of it in a second. On 2nd and 7, Aiden O'Connell throws, caught at the 15, drilled to the turf. Immediately, Chase Roberts made the catch, but he hung on. Hard hit from Stephen Hall. It's about a yard shy of the marker. Right guard is Nicholas Henning. And that's an interesting story, Kirk. He's 6'5", 291. A rookie out of Queen's College. Now, that is in Ottawa. That is in Ontario, Canada. He did not see American football until he was 19, 20 years old. And he is on this roster trying to make it there at right guard. He was also a top 15 pick in the CFL draft. Dalton Wagner to finish off the offensive line. He's been on the practice squad the last 3 years. He's in at right tackle. 3rd down and 1. I formation. Handoff to Hemby. Lowers the shoulder. Has the first down out to the 18-yard line.
That's a nice job there by Noah Brown. He's been here. I thought he was he going to play or not, but number 33, that's not a running back. It's not a fullback. That's actually a wide receiver for the Raiders. Number 33, Noah Brown, got in there and made a nice little block to spree Hemby for the yards needed for the first down.
Yeah, he was signed on Sunday. The Raiders flew here to Houston on Monday. Right, the acclimation period, was not practicing with the team on Tuesday, and he is out there in the slot to the right. Handoff again to Hemby, who's wrapped up. Carries the defender out past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Deontay Hamilton, the defensive tackle, falls on top of him. You know, Roman Hemby, first 3 years at Maryland. Last year in Indiana was a 1-2 punch with Kalen Black, who was a third-round pick for the San Francisco 49ers. We'll see him next week. Hemby was a third-team All-Big Ten running back last year, over 1,100 yards. For his career between Maryland and Indiana, 3,500 career rushing yards and almost 1,100 receiving yards. He's had over 4,500 scrimmage yards.
6 foot, 210 pounds. And it's never too early to start talking about how many running backs do the Raiders keep on their roster.
O'Connell pumps, fires. It's caught by Myrick, one of the backup tight ends. Streaking right to left, falls down at the 40 at the left numbers. Stephen Hall chopped him down. That is a 17-yard pickup to the 6'5" tight end.
Well, you remember I kept talking about the drop of these linebackers, Jason? This time, Aiden O'Connell, with a quick pump, was able to move the linebacker and let Myrick get right behind him, and it opened up a window for him and was able to hit a nice little strike for a first down. So Aiden O'Connell seeing that I've got to move these linebackers to open the window.
Patrick Gerd, one of the backup fullbacks, in the backfield in front of Dare Ogunbowale, who gets the handoff, bursts through the whole left side, 45-50, lowers the shoulder in the defender and has the first down into Texans territory at the 49-yard line. And that question of how many running backs are you going to keep is certainly a good one. You know it's Ashton Genty. Yep. You know it's Mike Washington. It very much looks like Dylan Lowby's going to be on this roster.
100%.
Do they keep 4 and Connor Hayward? Do they keep 5 and Connor Hayward? And that question certainly comes in, how do you play special teams?
Yeah, I think Connor Hayward, to me, is just a H-back, meaning that he's going to be your tight end / fullback. I don't even count him in the running back count.
Of course not.
He's just a player. You know, a player that you're going to have, a valuable player on this roster.
Connell gives it to Ogunbowale. They fake the end around to Noah Brown with Ogunbowale going up the middle for another 5 yards. This has been a pretty impressive drive by these running backs.
Yeah, I mean, this drive started all the way back inside the 10-yard line.
That's right.
And so this has been all about this offensive line, a new offensive line. You mentioned some of the names, Dalton Wagner, Nicholas Hitting, Putnam still over at that center position, Daniels as well, 79. So you've got some guys who are showing their opportunities when you get them.
Connell with a bootleg out to the right side. He hits Noah Brown, gets away from a defender near side 40, has the 35, and he's brought down by a couple of Texans at the 33-yard line. That's a pickup of 11 to Noah Brown, who, again, you just signed this guy. Right. He's 29 years old in his 9th year out of Ohio State. Originally a 7th-round pick of the Cowboys. He played 6 years in Dallas. Last couple of years in Washington, never really got going last year, had a groin injury with the Commanders. Pretty much the entire Washington roster was injured last year.
But absolutely, but Aiden O'Connell, you just need to see one go down. You don't need to see one shot go through the basket. He's been on fire so far in this drive. Seems to be a lot more calm in the offense.
And off Hemby, stretch play left side with a stiff arm at the 30. Keeps his feet turning and to the Raiders sideline at the 28-yard line. Pick up 5 more. The next snap will be the 10th play of the drive. And, you know, the other part to all this, too, Kirk, Clint Kubiak is coaching his 2nd game as the head man of any organization.
Correct.
He saw his team go down 17-0 with 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. He would love nothing more to give this team some momentum, pushing around the Texans to win this game on the road.
Absolutely, and how they're doing it offensively, running the football, being more physical. We're talking about when you come to Houston, it was all about their physicality.
That's
they
right.
feel like they got pushed around a week ago, and now you've got the Raiders pushing this defense here in the third quarter.
Noah Brown moved over to the left side, now motions over to the right side. Inside handoff, Hemby with the shimmy to the right side, 25 in space, shoulder down to the 20. Roman Hemby, another first down. He picks up 8 more yards, and the Raiders are into the Texans' red zone with 8:10 and counting, and a wholesale changes. Dorsett, Roberts, Ogunbowale on the field. Albert Okwue-Bunam off along with Hemby and Noah Brown.
I mentioned how big of a back that Hemby is, 6 foot, 210 pounds, and he's showing every bit of it, lowering the shoulder and finishing runs.
O'Connell, bootleg out to the left. He's settling, and he's going to throw this one into the crowd. He bought all the time he could buy, and then nothing came open. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Raiders have 37 rushing yards on this drive. Approaching 300 yards of offense. Again, penalties have been a problem today, but they have forced a turnover. They've gotten a couple of sacks. They have 3 of them to speak of. Patrick Johnson, Thomas Booker, Jafari Harvey, all with sacks so far here in this ballgame. Down by 10 with 7:45 to go. Connell under center. Handoff Ogunbowale through the hole at the 15. Bounces outside 10. Ogunbowale to the goal line. Touchdown Raiders! Dare Ogunbowale with a 20-yard burst through the left side. And with 7:36 to go, the Raiders have taken a 17-point deficit and cut it down to 4.
I closed my eyes quickly. I opened them up. I see a number 32 racing to the left side of the offensive line, gets to the outside, races up the sideline for a touchdown. It wasn't Marcus Allen, though. It was Dare Ogunbowale doing his Marcus Allen impression, getting into the end zone, tight roping the outside, and yes, he gets in. That's an outstanding run by Dare Ogunbowale.
Now, Allen Eck is over with the headset on to, in fact, make sure that Ogunbowale did get that ball over the pylon before he stepped out of bounds. Kayvon Merriweather
It's confirmed. It's confirmed. You got to do it.
You and I believe that.
I believe it. Oh, yeah. I mean, give the guy an A for effort. Come on.
I mean, he's being dragged down over his left shoulder. And that's a touchdown.
That's a touchdown.
There's no question in our mind that's a touchdown.
I think Allen Eck just wants to get a little bit of TV time. That's a touchdown. Because the black pellets fly up when his foot is on the ground still. That tells me he's still inbounds.
Now, remember, his left foot goes into the end zone, but where is the ball when that goes out of bounds? I mean, it looks like the ball is over the pylon. Your foot can go in the end zone, but the ball has to cross the pylon. And now Allen Eck is no longer under the hood.
The ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
There you go.
He just wanted TV time.
Yeah.
Let him get some TV time.
Because he's got biceps that look like he plays. Man, listen, the NFL doesn't mess around. They got some referees.
They do. They're not afraid of the gym.
Yeah. I had a good bicep workout today.
That was all good. I was just hanging out with the GM on the treadmill. It was pretty cool.
You didn't invite me for that conversation. Matsuzawa on for the extra point. And he misses it wide left. So he tried to sneak it in the left upright. So instead of being a field goal game, it is a one-score game, but it is a 4-point game. 7:36 to go. Texans 20, Raiders 16. We will step aside. You're listening to Raiders football.
The Sirius XM NFL Radio Training Camp Tour checked in with the Lions and spoke with QB Jared Goff.
The mindset, the mentality. If you play here, it doesn't matter what position you play, you better bring it every single day.
I'm not really a part of that physicality as much.
You're the maestro of it, though.
Sure. I'm not really sticking my nose in it, but St. Brown, J-Mo, Laporta, Tesla, Gibbs, those are your skill players, and those guys are willing to do it. When the receivers are willing to block the way our guys are, it changes everything, and it's awesome. It really is.
Sirius XM NFL Radio Channel 88 and on the Sirius XM app.
You can't win your fantasy football league in the summer, but you sure can lose it. On Sirius XM Fantasy Sports Radio, we created a winning fantasy football lineup to help you build a championship team.
Hey guys, need your help. Get
the edge you need from Jeff Manns, John Hansen, Jeff Radcliffe, Matthew Berry's Fantasy Life, and the Fantasy Footballers.
I require 2 of my first 4 rounds to be running backs.
Listen live on Channel 87 or prep your draft anytime by searching Draft Season on the Sirius XM app. Friday Night SmackDown is on Sirius XM WWE Radio. Hear the hard-hitting action.
Cody is busted wide open. Randy is unglued here.
He is snapped.
This is just savage, merciless. Oh.
And all the smack talk.
Easy to find, hard to beat.
Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett have the call of SmackDown. Friday nights at 8 Eastern on WWE Radio Channel 156 in the car and on the Sirius XM app.
Sometimes you only get one look at greatness. After all, there's only one Marcus Allen, only one Howie Long, and one Cliff Branch. There's only one Lombardi Trophy, only one case of Super Bowl rings, and only one Hall of Fame gallery that houses the bronze bust of each Hall of Famer. And they all live in one place, the Pro Football Hall of Fame, where one look at greatness lives forever. Ignite the passion, relive the glory. Book your visit now at profootballhof.com.
Pretty impressive scoring drive for the Raiders. 12 plays, 93 yards, 6.5 minutes. Dare Ogunbowale, 20-yard touchdown run. Raiders had 8 runs on that drive, just 4 passes. And it's 20-16 Houston with 7:36 to go. Matsuzawa missed the extra point. The Raiders will kick it off left to right with Matsuzawa. A much higher kickoff coming down to the 4-yard line. And it's Trayvon Saunders out to the 20 with a burst left side. Gets away from a tackler, and the Raiders chasing him down. And they will get there at the 27-yard line. Buddy Johnson came over to make the stop after a 23-yard kick return. Well, TV now talking to Fernando Mendoza on the Raiders sideline. And, you know, his quotes have often gone viral. And our buddy Levi Edwards with Raiders.com had the article, and he was the one filming him on Tuesday where I believe it got, 15 million retweets or whatever it was.
Sure did.
But it's all because of how Fernando enunciates everything and talks through everything, and it sounds to some people a little bit different than your normal quarterback, but it is exactly who he is when you talk to him.
I mean, he's insightful. He's not going to give you one-word answers. He's going to tell you how he feels and what goes into every single play.
Rippon taking a shot downfield for Kelly, incomplete to Cameron Richardson, step for step in coverage at the Texans 45.
I love Cameron Richardson, what he's done over the last couple of weeks of camp. Early on in the periods without the pads, didn't really hear a lot of noise, but since they put the pads on, he's been playing a much more physical cornerback spot for the Raiders during training camp. He flashed last week, and now he's flashing again today. So they're trying to also keep the competition up in that secondary of how many cornerbacks do you keep.
Handoff inside, Owen Wright, Jafari Harvey coming down the line of scrimmage, being pushed, makes the stop. Buddy Johnson in on the tackle as well. It'll be third down and about 7. It was hard to take away positives from the defense last week, Kirk, right? They gave up 5 straight scoring drives to the Arizona Cardinals. They lose 27-14. Corner. It's been a different story today. Texans 109. And what, again, preseason, you're going to play some first team, you're going to play some against some second team, some third team, whatever it might be. But you're playing those same guys too. And the Raiders defense, since that opening drive for the Texans, the Raiders defense has won the day. Rippon back to throw. Comes near side. It's caught at the 35. It's out in front of the marker. It's a first down.
No, I think he's short, Jason. I think a good job by Greedy Vance staying on the back and got him just a yard short. That's by in. I think he was right there on that yard marker.
If Jaquan Jackson made the catch, if replay assist comes in, I think when he caught that football before Vance drew him back, it looked like he was out past the 35-yard line.
Yeah, that's a nice job by Greedy Vance just staying in his coverage. And I think by the time he truly gains possession, he's short of the first down marker. That's a nice job by Greedy Vance playing through the play and then running them backwards a little bit. That official had to run up, and I don't think he got the spot that he wanted, forcing a punt.
Well, so that's a 3 and out. And now Kai Kroger is booting it to Devin Tompkins, who's backpedaling inside the 15, catches it at the 13 near the Texan sideline. He's heading all the way across the field inside the 10, angling to the 15, and he ran 55 yards to pick up 2 because he caught it all the way on the Texan sideline, and he ran all the way into the Raiders bench to pick up 2 yards.
You want to do some conditioning, Jason. How about that?
Yeah, I like that.
That's all right.
Well, you didn't invite me for the walk with John Spytek, who I hope next week will join us on the telecast when we play the Niners next week in preseason. Step aside. Hey, Raiders have a chance to win this one. Texans 20, Raiders 16, 5:43 to go in the game. You're listening to the Las Vegas Raiders Radio Network.
Hey, did you see that game last weekend? It was crazy.
Actually, we were there.
Wait, like in person? How'd you swing that?
Allegiant had a super affordable nonstop flight out there. And with how low the airfare was, buying tickets to the game was a no-brainer.
Hold my beer. I'm going to Allegiant.com right now.
Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. Nonstop flights from Las Vegas to Santa Maria, one way for as low as $44. Must be purchased by 9/13/2026 for travel between 8/20/2026 and 2/7/2027. Seats and dates are limited. Restrictions apply. See Allegiant.com for details.
Some things are not meant to be rushed. They are crafted to be claimed. From legendary tequila founder John Paul de Joria comes the award-winning Bandero Premium Tequila. Small batch, additive-free, triple distilled blue agave, aged 7 years in the rich Los Altos soil of Jalisco, Mexico. Crafted to be claimed. Bandero Tequila. Treat yourself. 21 and over. Please drink responsibly.
Raiders football is brought to you by Credit One Bank, the official credit card of the Las Vegas Raiders. By Coors Light. Coors Light, mountain cold for Raider Nation. Celebrate responsibly. 2026 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. By Karma Automotive, the official luxury electric vehicle of the Las Vegas Raiders.
And into the end zone. Touchdown, Brock Bowers.
This is Modelo Especial, a full-flavored golden lager with a crisp, refreshing taste from start to finish. Brewed with time, effort, and determination to get the balance just right. Because when a beer is made right, you can feel it. Modelo Especial, the model for everyday beer. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
Well, when the game ends, Las Vegas begins. Experience world-class entertainment, dining, nightlife, and events in the sports and entertainment capital of the world. Plan your trip at visitlasvegas.com. Raiders trailed this game 17-0, 12 minutes into the game, but here with 5:43, they have the ball back. Down one score. Texans 20, Raiders 16. Aiden O'Connell starting under center from his own 15. He turns, he hands it off to Hemby, who runs right into the line and bounces off a couple of players for a couple of yards. It'll be second down and 8. Some late pushing and shoving. Philip Dorsett, along with some of the younger secondary members from the Texans. You know, there have been a lot of fights this week with the joint practices. Yeah. A couple of minor skirmishes with the Raiders and Texans Tuesday, but nothing really that's write home about. Correct. And very different in other places around the league. Yeah, no fines for the ones that we had on Tuesday.
Yeah, they don't want to tell Mr. Davis, Mark Davis, hey, we cost you $500,000 by fighting. No, I don't think that's something you want to tell your owner.
O'Connell back to throw. Dumps the screen to Hemby at the 15. Gets a block, which sprung him for a couple of yards. Woo! Will Putnam just laid out the safety. Marte Mapu cleaned it up. It only went for about 3 yards, but it would have been a loss if he didn't do it.
But a nice feel right there from Hemby, right? He felt that Putnam was going to be coming down to go make the block, and you mentioned it. Putnam creamed him, and then now all of a sudden you got an extra couple yards here, and that sets up looks like a 3rd and 4.
Yep.
Rather than a 3rd and 8.
Both teams do have all 3 timeouts if you're following along on that category. New left tackle in for the Raiders as well this series. It's Kamar Missouri, the rookie from UTSA. O'Connell back to throw, fires left side. Jackson fell, and it's incomplete. Brandon Condrington was in coverage. Jackson had gotten out of his break on an out route to the sideline, but he slipped and never really recovered.
Yeah, like my coach would always say, get some shoes that work, young man. Jackson's got to make sure he can't slip in that scenario. Your quarterback is depending on you to get out of that break. That ball was delivered on time. It would have been a first down if he was able to get out of the break and secure that catch.
Well, on the moment here, by the way, the Texans do have 2 17s both on the field. In college football, this would be a penalty. They have both Brandon Codrington and Daniel Sopkowitz. Codrington on the punt return at the 18-yard line. Gets away from one, has the 30. And Codrington just cannot get away from the tackle of Devin Lafayette at the 33-yard line. We do appreciate the fact that the Raiders do not have any double numbers here in the preseason. We do appreciate that. And, again, for the Texans, that, Codrington's a corner and Sopkowitz is a wide receiver. I understand it in college, Kirk, because you have more than 99 players. I do not understand it in the NFL, even in the preseason. You have 90 players.
That should have been a penalty, though. In college it is, I get it, but the NFL should do the same.
That's why in college the guys have to change jerseys if they're both on the field. Owen Wright's in the backfield. He wears 42, by the way, if you care. Brett Rippon with a play fake, rolls out to the right, eyes downfield. Buddy Johnson giving chase, and Rippon gives himself up at the 38-yard line. Right in front of Clint Kubiak on the far sideline with 3:50 to go. It'll be second down and 9 for the Texans. Raiders do have 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning to try and get the ball back for Aiden O'Connell. Brett Rippon tonight, again, just signed over the weekend. He is 6 of 9 for 44 yards. He has been sacked a couple of times. He fumbled a couple of times, lost a turnover. But he has played the entire second half, as is Aiden O'Connell for the Silver and Black. He is under center. Owen Wright, the lone setback. He turns, he hands off to Wright, bursting through the middle, and he's pushed backwards. And a solid job by Gary Smith. He got off the block And he hit Owen Wright right around the line. He got a couple of yards. It'll be third down.
So the Raiders don't necessarily have big guys up front, right?
No, he's a big guy.
Yeah, Adam Butler goes about 300. Tonka Hemingway about 285. Laulu 289. Booker about 300. But when you start to get to Fatukasi at 318, Gary Smith at about 320, the Raiders got some beef in the later parts of their depth chart. And you're seeing that beef right now be immovable along the line of scrimmage.
Gary Smith led all of UCLA's defensive linemen last year with 39 tackles in his 6th year in college, so he is 25 years old. Here's third down for Rippon. Escapes the pocket with pressure, has the 45, dives head first, has the first down out across to the 47. Brett Rippon felt it coming off the edge, and he took off for 8 yards, and it's a first down for Houston.
Yeah, that edge pressure was created by Keyron Crawford. He was able to get up the field. He ducked underneath the tackle, but it did leave the open void. I always call it the exit. He left an exit for Brett Rippon, who took that exit and dived for the first down.
Which will bring us to the 2-minute warning. Houston 20, Las Vegas 16 as we step aside one last time here this evening. We'll see if the Raiders can get Aiden O'Connell one more shot because they do have 3 timeouts left. You're listening to the Las Vegas Raiders Radio Network.
Karma Automotive proudly serves as the official luxury electric vehicle of the Las Vegas Raiders. As America's first and only ultra-luxury automaker, from our Cavea 1,000 horsepower Super Coupe to the Rivero, the extended range sedan, Karma blends supernatural innovation with American ingenuity. We are shaping the future of automotive aspiration. For assigned drivers only. Reserve your Karma at karmaautomotive.com.
Rahan Naqvi with Naqvi Injury Law, here to give you some facts before you pick an injury lawyer. Fact 1. A lot of lawyers say they're the best, but only Naqvi won Best of Las Vegas Gold 11 straight times. Fact 2. Over 1,000 of our cases were referred to us from other lawyers. When other lawyers trust you to handle their cases, you should too. Focus on the facts when picking a lawyer. Call Naqvi at 702-INJURED.
When it comes to hospitality, entertainment, and gaming, one name stands above the rest. Yamava Resort and Casino at San Manuel. Its excellence is recognized by national awards, including a Best Casino Outside of Las Vegas title from Newsweek in 2025, and 3 times USA Today's Reader's Choice honors. Plus, it's the only casino hotel with a prestigious AAA 5-diamond rating, over 7,500 slots, A-list entertainment, world-class hospitality. Discover why Yamava is California's #1 entertainment destination. Details at yamava.com. Must be 21 to enter. Please gamble responsibly.
For a limited time, get 20% off an NFL Plus annual plan. With NFL Plus, stream live out-of-market preseason games, live local and primetime regular season games on mobile and NFL Network, including 7 exclusive live games this season. With NFL Plus Premium, watch every touchdown every Sunday afternoon during the regular season with NFL Red Zone. Catch game replays and access NFL Pro. Limited time offer ends September 21st. Sign up today at plus.nfl.com/radio. Terms and conditions apply.
Coming out of the 2-minute warning, Texans 20, Raiders 16. Ticketmaster is your official ticket marketplace of the Las Vegas Raiders and the NFL. Come join us next week at Allegiant Stadium, Thursday night, 5 Pacific. Raiders and Niners will finish out the preseason, and then it'll be about 2.5 weeks till we open up on Sunday, September 13th at home against the Dolphins. Rippon is under center with Owen Wright as his tailback, who gets the handoff through the right side into the secondary, and he's near the first down. Picked up 9 to the Raiders' 44-yard line, and Clint Kubiak takes his first time out. Devin Lafayette saved the touchdown. Well, we knew coming into this game, Kirk, no matter what, the story tomorrow was going to be about Fernando Mendoza. And remember, there's only 2 preseason games here tonight. This one on national TV here against Houston. The other is San Francisco against the Chargers, and Justin Herbert played the first set of series for the Chargers. They went 3 and out, and his night was done. So, I don't know what you're gaining there. So all of that. So this is going to be the storyline. But even if they were playing their guys, Kirk Cousins has been the starter. He's gotten all the reps, the majority of the reps with the ones throughout most of training camp.
But I think Fernando's performance shows you why the Raiders are being very cautious and slow with Fernando Mendoza. I don't think that tomorrow's start Fernando right now. I think with anything, it's kind of showed you why the Raiders are doing what they're doing.
2nd and 1, the Raiders defense stacks up the running back right at the line. Dalton Johnson came in to clean it up. The safety came down, hit him hard. Clint Kubiak immediately took his second timeout, so a 3rd and 1 coming up for the Texans here. Raiders down to 1 timeout with 1:50 to go. I will say this would be a pretty impressive stop here, because if you get him on 2nd and 1 for no gain, if you stop him on 3rd and 1, now they do have Kaimi Fairbairn, who his career long is 61, and the field goal from right here would be 62. So you wonder if, here in the preseason, if D'Amico Ryans would try it.
Think so?
I don't know. We saw the Cowboys last year try a 70-yarder.
Yeah, I remember that in the preseason.
Brandon Aubrey, and then we saw Cam Little hit the NFL record of 68 last year.
Okay, let's not talk about that. That was bad memories.
Just saying.
I know. We were there for that.
Texans 2 tight ends to the right. They turn, they hand off to Ryan, and the Raiders in the backfield. Kieron Crawford, by far his best play of the preseason. He got off at the jump, and he dropped him for a 2-yard loss.
I said it. That's who you are right now. Kieron Crawford, you go in the game, just go cause havoc. Go wreck shop. Make a play. Create chaos. And that's what he did on that last one. Went in there, a nice little tackle for loss by Kieron Crawford. When your number's going to get called this year as a rookie, go make the play.
Our 42 is better than your 42. At least on that play. And the Texans are going to punt. So they're not going to send out Fairbairn to try a 63-yarder. Instead, they're going to send out Kai Kroger to try and pin the Raiders inside the 10-yard line, which is where Devin Tompkins is standing. Now remember, Matsuzawa did miss an extra point, so the Raiders do trail this game by 4. They are going to need a touchdown. Kroger gets the snap. His left-footed boot is an end-over-end kick. Tompkins over his head. It bounces at the 6 and checked up perfectly. And it is down by the Texans at the 4. Lane Pryor, the tight end out of Northern Iowa, downs the 42-yard punt. And so Aiden O'Connell, if he's going to play hero with 97 seconds to go, is going to need 96 yards of offense.
So now you know this. In the huddle, what they're talking about. We have 1 timeout, fellas, so we got to get out of bounds.
No timeouts.
No, I thought I saw
after the Crawford stop, they took their last timeout.
That's right. They took it off. There. So no timeouts left. Everything has to be to the outside. Get out of bounds. Try to find a couple of chunk plays.
Dorsett and Cedric Jackson lined up to the right. O'Connell in the shotgun. Backs up into his end zone. Settles into the pocket. Fires a Gumbawale at the 10. Angling to the sideline. Reaches the ball. And he does get it out of bounds. Codrington made the tackle at the 13-yard line, but Agumbawale with his left hand got the ball to the sideline before his legs came down inbounds.
Yeah, impressed with Agumbawale, just showing some of the versatility there. And I think the replay assist may help out as that knee was down before he got out of bounds.
Yeah, and remember, because we're inside of 2 minutes and the Raiders don't have a timeout, this would be a 10-second runoff because the clock stopped. But if they got the play right on the field, the clock would have continued to run. So replay assist is talking to Alan Eck right now, and I'm with you. I think this is going to be down inbounds.
It looks like that left knee just hit down.
After review, the pass was completed. However, the receiver's down by contact inbounds. Therefore, there will be a 10-second runoff. Game clock should have stopped at 1:32 seconds. Please reset the game clock to 1:22. 1:22 in the game clock.
Yep. But either way here,
the clock will start on the ready for play signal.
Yeah, but either way, the reality of this is the Raiders are called to play. They're already at the line, and as soon as Alan Eck says, "Hey, we're ready," so yes, they lose 7 seconds, but the reality is it's still better than if he was tackled in bounds to begin with. There's the whistle, so now the clock starts for Aiden O'Connell. It's 2nd down and 1. He's back to throw, off his back foot, hits Jackson, out route, outside, caught, inbounds, and he steps out of bounds just in front of the 30. That time, Cedric Jackson kept his footing out to the 29-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 and a 1st down.
See what happened when you get shoes that work, okay? He got some shoes that work and was able to go make a nice catch, got out of bounds. You always see the speed with Cedric Jackson. Nice job of cutting, getting out of the break, maintaining the break, this time staying on his feet.
Well, Aiden O'Connell, the first couple drives tonight were rough, but he has gotten into a rhythm the last couple. Fresh set of downs, back to throw. Clean pocket, fires left side. It's caught at the 30, out across the 35, and Dorsett steps out of bounds right in front of Codrington. He did not pick up the first down. He's out at the 38, but the clock stops. 1:11, plenty of time to work with. Raiders out of timeouts. They need 62 yards to go and win this football game.
Yeah, I just love right now the poise of Aiden O'Connell leading this drive, getting in and out of the huddle, but he looks like he knows what he wants to do at the line of scrimmage.
He is 12 of 20 for 105 here. He has had every snap of the second half. Back to pass again. 7-step drop off his back foot. Jackson in a hole across midfield. He's brought down at the Texans' 43-yard line, just to the left of the numbers. He races the ball up to the official who spots it. Clock down to 56 seconds. 20-yard pickup. Aiden O'Connell in the shotgun gets the snap. Back to throw. He's got Brandon Johnson streaking across the middle. Still inbounds down at the 33-yard line. Casey Osai on the tackle. Clock continues to run. 41 seconds. O'Connell up on the ball, and he spikes it with 38 seconds to go, and the Raiders with a 3rd and 2 coming up at the Texans' 33-yard line.
I'm giving a lot of props to this offensive line, Jason. They've been blocking well for Aiden O'Connell, allowing him the opportunity to not only survey the defense, but be able to step up and get to his 3rd and 4th progression. So shout out to this offensive line late in this game right now, giving Aiden O'Connell all the time that he needs.
On this drive, he was 5 for 5 before spiking that football. Now they took out Ogunbowale. They brought in Roman Hemby. You wonder if they're running this to get the first down. Again, they're out of timeouts. They're not. They're going to pass. O'Connell settles. Heading to the end zone. Brandon Johnson leaps and grabs. Oh, he's brought down at the 1-yard line. On the right hash mark, Brandon Johnson made the grab. The Raiders have plenty of time. They're heading towards the line with 22 seconds. O'Connell, he is at the line of scrimmage. He takes the snap. He's trying to push it into the end zone. He gets the push. Oh, if he's not there, they got to unpile. No signal yet. No signal. There it is. Touchdown Raiders. With 9 seconds on the clock. The tush push for AOC. And the Raiders march down the field 96 yards to try and win it here in Houston.
Wow. I was surprised. He was pointing to his heel as if it was going to be a spike. I think he went rogue on that one and decided to, you know what? Let me go ahead and take the opportunity, and the tush push into Houston with a 2-step sidestep for the touchdown.
Well, it may just be the preseason, but it is a lot more fun to win than lose.
Yeah, he's in.
He's definitely in. They're viewing this. Chris Myrick, the backup tight end, had that last push. And what an impressive drive by Aiden O'Connell. Now remember, Matsuzawa missed the last extra point. He is on to try and boot this one through and make it a 3-point game. The snap, the hold, and the extra point, he missed it again. So Matsuzawa missed it wide right. He has missed a couple of extra points tonight. He missed a field goal last week. But the Raiders do have the lead here. They put time back on the clock with 14 seconds to go. The Raiders 22 and the Texans 20 on an 8-play, 96-yard Aiden O'Connell drive with 1:23 off the clock.
And Clint Kubiak has not cracked the smile yet, by the way. He is still as poised as ever. And I think Fernando Mendoza's got a smile on his face. I mean, what a job by Aiden O'Connell. I talked about the offensive line that gave him all the time in the protection down the stretch. Ogunbowale making plays with his opportunities, and then to find just the time that was needed and got it all the way down there. And Brandon Johnson with the big play to get him to the 1-yard line. It's what you do with your opportunities. Brandon Johnson, Shedrick Jackson, and then Aiden O'Connell saying, you know what, I do it. I take it. And got a touchdown, man.
Aiden O'Connell started 3 for 7. He is 12 of his last 17 and a touchdown run. Kickoff down to the 5, on the run for Saunders, out across the 25, and he is brought down on the Raiders sideline at the 29-yard line. DeCamerion Richardson rode him to the turf with 9 seconds to go. The Texans do have their 3 timeouts, which doesn't really matter because they don't have enough time to run 3 plays. But 9 seconds. Now remember,
yes,
because we've had the 2 missed extra points.
Correct.
And they have Kaimi Fairbairn.
Yes.
If they pick up 30, 40 yards, they have a shot to try and win it with a field goal.
Is there enough time? And this is a big opportunity right here for these rookies. The defensive backs right now are about 20 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So they're right now lined up at the 50. This ball's at the 29.
That's right. Keep everything in front of you. Brett Rippon in the shotgun with Owen Wright to his right. 2 receivers left side. And a false start here by the Texans. One of the backup right tackles.
False start, number 76 offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That is Sam Hagan.
And Jason, people may say preseason doesn't mean anything. There is not a player on that Raiders sideline sitting on the bench. Well, you've got starters. You've got Max Crosby leading the way. It means something to those guys over there, regardless of who's in the football game.
The last time the Raiders won a preseason game, Josh McDaniels was the head coach. They have gone 8 straight winless. A couple of ties in there, but no wins. Rippon back to throw. Again, 9 seconds. Pressure from Kean Sloan. He's given chase. Rippon across the middle. Intercepted by the Raiders at the 38-yard line. Devin Lafayette, go keep that football. The clock is down to 1 second. The Raiders are going to take a knee, and they're going to come to Houston and steal a win here in the preseason.
What a way to finish. It may be preseason for some, but this is different for Clint Kubiak and this bunch. To be down early 14-0 to start this football game.
17-0.
17-0, but the way they came back, the way that Fernando responded, the way that Aiden O'Connell responded, and the defense. Come on, give those guys some props. They stopped the run in the second half, and